Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge, which is not 5 minutes late because the British can't even manage to be late on time.
How am I in trouble for not being late?
Because you told me you would be late. I had to change my entire schedule because of that.
Okay.
That's just how that works.
Yeah.
Imagine if Trump is 5 minutes late on bombing the Iranians. You know? Catastrophic consequences.
Well, did you fucking see the Israelis being like, they bombed a hospital?
Yes.
Oh, did they, lads? Did they? That sounds bad.
Yeah, I wonder if somebody else has done that in recent memory.
Yeah. 34 times. Sorry. The Israelis are wondering why are we not getting as much sympathy as we expected because they bombed a hospital? Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is something that Israel too has engaged with on more than one occasion.
34 hospitals in Gaza, apparently.
Not to mention, okay,
that seems a bit much, but I don't know. It's going to be it's going to be more than one, isn't it?
The thing is too, the shit the Israelis are firing, the Iranians are firing at Israel. These are ballistic World War II missiles. They aren't aiming this shit.
Although they did fire the odd hypersonic, which was quite impressive, really.
They did, but that shit too ain't got crap guidance system. It's probably guided by the same kind of engine that guided the V2s in the Second World War. This is why they're shooting at a target the size of a city and still missing. Frightening amount of the time. Although, did you see, there was some of those, what was it? One of those war commentator people. You know, the ones on Twitter that are experts on every conflict ever.
Well, I mean, there are loads. I mean, God, that's everyone. The second any conflict starts, I go out of my way now, literally to be as to not comment on things as much as I can these days, because it is insufferable. Excuse me, it is insufferable that everyone suddenly is like, "Oh yeah, I know all about this conflict." It's like, no, you fucking don't. You don't know shit.
Well, there was one guy who was tricked because he saw a little flashy little infographic in 3D, and retweeted that as the reason why the Iranians were hitting civilian buildings. And it alleged that the Israelis were hiding F-35s inside of the civilian buildings.
I saw that, and apparently there was a Star Destroyer at the bottom of it.
Yes, there was a Star Destroyer at the bottom of it.
I'm not sure how much faith I put in that guy's assessment.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And unironically, there was a Star Destroyer at the end of the animation under the building. I'm not joking. It sounds like I'm taking the piss. I'm not taking the piss.
No, there was also an aircraft carrier under the building.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people have been tricked into retweeting a lot of very dumb shit, including, of course, loads of Arma 3 footage, as per usual.
Yeah, I mean, but that footage, let's give them their fucking credit, shall we? Looks fucking incredible.
It does, but at the same time, have you never seen a video game before?
Yeah, but this looks really good. I was, when I first saw it, I thought, oh wow, that's fucking incredible. And then I looked at the comments, because obviously whenever anything happens, check the comments, right? Make sure that it's not bullshit. And then, there are a bunch of people going, no, this is from Arma 3. And then I looked closer, and I was like, oh yeah, that is a game. But you couldn't tell just by glancing.
Well, there's the thing. You can often tell by glancing. Amongst other things, fighter jets rarely fly at 100 feet altitude.
Well, I don't fucking know. And if, you're a regular person who also doesn't know.
I know, but...
it's totally easy seeing how people get confused and just conned by this.
I know, but to me it really hurts when I see footage of fucking sea whizzes shooting at fucking fighter jets 100 feet above ground. But anyways, we are now in the spin machine again. Iran's nuclear threat is the real deal and cannot be compared to those WMDs in Iraq.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems like exactly the same narrative. Like, what was it? They could have missiles firing us within 45 minutes or something. Was it back in the day with like Tony Blair and that? And so it's just like, yeah, no, this feels like exactly the same narrative in exactly the same region of the world for exactly the same reasons that I assume will just have exactly the same results.
Pretty much. And of course, again, you know, everybody remembers the Iraq thing where you had the American Secretary of Defense. No, we know, we have evidence. All of NATO bought it, full-on coalition invasion, everything, and they found nothing.
Alistair Campbell is currently one of the sort of leading political commentators in this country, and he's still going, oh, no, we really thought. It's like, fucking bullshit, did you? Like, no one believes you, mate.
The worst thing is, like, okay, so they did find something, and what they found was disabled and abandoned chemical weapons that had been destroyed in accordance with the previous treaties.
Yeah, because they sent, they'd made various demands, they'd sent loads of UN inspectors, and they'd all come back relatively happy.
Yeah, because of course Saddam Hussein, after getting his ass fucking annihilated in the first Desert Storm, was like, nope, not again.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, anyone with a modicum of intelligence would have been like, yeah, you can't win this, Saddam. And so, okay, I just used to have to bend the knee on this one, bro.
Yeah, like Saddam Hussein was attempting to surrender as hard as he could, but it was not quite enough.
And don't get me wrong, like, Saddam Hussein, fucking wicked man, absolutely wicked, just evil as they come. But, I mean, ISIS were a direct result of knocking him off.
Heresy's the question.
Well, that's the problem with the Middle East. Yes, Saddam Hussein was a bad guy, but he also maintained stability in the region, so...
He's a secular bad guy.
How many people can Saddam Hussein kill a year compared to ISIS?
Oh, well, not just that. It's like, what's the reason for Saddam Hussein killing those people, right? Saddam Hussein used to kill loads of jihadis. Absolutely fucking loads. Callum would talk to me about it all the time, in a weird obsession with Saddam Hussein. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, kill all these jihadis all the time. It's like, oh, well, that's good, I guess.
Ah. An authoritarian, secular leader killing a religious extremist who want to blow up his country.
Yeah.
Ah.
I can see the upsides, frankly.
Yeah, if anything, this is making him sound a lot like Obama, but with less predators. But yeah, the whole thing is going on now. Israel is, of course, asking for America to get involved. Like, America, do you really wanna? Do you really want to do this?
Asking, they're kind of demanding they get involved.
Yeah, they were asking for bombings of Iran's nuclear facilities, the big underground one.
Yeah, with bunker busters, because apparently the Israelis don't have those, but the Americans do.
Well, it's the size of the bunker buster that's the problem here.
Yeah, I watched a video on it the other day.
Yep. The Americans have, there's very fucking few of them, too. They've got like 20 of these things in total, the mass ordnance penetrator. It's a 13-ton bomb.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's got a speculative penetration range of, I think, 60 meters of concrete. So, if anything will burst it open, it's that.
Yeah, I'll do the job.
And, I mean, on the one hand, if America just keeps themselves to a purely air campaign, then, I mean, I guess, but... You know how the Americans are. They're going to be like, oh, we can introduce democracy. We just need to, bring some troops in.
Well, this is Machiavelli's old dictum. Wars begin when you will, but do not end when you please.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you can start a war whenever you like. It's just not going to be end of it, right? That's not going to be it in totality. I mean,
Nope.
look at like 9/11 was a consequence of the Gulf War.
Yeah.
So, just careful what you do.
Yep, like almost inevitably, if America starts with an air campaign, they drop them up, they blow up the underground facilities, they topple the Iranian regime, and then the new regime is going to go, okay, America, there's a lot of extremists in our country. We could use some help to make sure we get free and honest elections, etc.
And not only that, but just remember, like, in the first flush of victory, it feels like you're winning everything.
Yep.
But it's not the victory you have to win. That's the easy part. Like, look at them. The Middle Easterners are shit at war. No one questions it.
Mm-hmm.
Winning the peace is the issue.
Precisely. Then America will go, okay, well, we're winning. Yeah, no, we'll totally help you. And then all of the extremists in the area will go, what? Opportunity to attack Americans again? Yes.
I know. And not only that, opportunity to attack ethnic enemies who have been here for 1,000 years. Oh, I think I will. Thank you very much.
Opportunity to strike at Israelis and Americans in the same region?
Well, you know what one of the weird things is that ISIS never targeted Israel. But opportunity to cause merry fucking mayhem all across the Middle East again. Oh, brilliant! It's like, yeah.
Yep.
Is that brilliant? Is that what we're looking for?
In another massively unstable region of the world where you've just destroyed the security forces.
Yeah, and Iran is a patchwork of ethnicities that's pinned together.
Yep, and then you'll have to start playing politics. Okay, which part of this is these do we empower? Where do we hold the democratic elections? And oh my god, this government's incredibly unpopular. What do we do now? Yeah, no. It'll be another fucking quagmire.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the best I can see America doing here, right, is if they can destabilize and knock out the mullahs, then the Shah's, the prince and crown prince in exile, could potentially come back and set up a Western sympathetic government, right? Sure, but the Shah's regime still killed a lot of people. They were just like Saddam, Islamic radicals, So it's just like they're still going to have to murder a bunch of crazies. So just take it into consideration, I suppose.
Well, yeah. That's the thing, because if you do that, if America just does a full Rolling Thunder campaign, just keeps bombing until they get all of the leadership, and they introduce the Shahs again, what you're going to do then is you're going to bring about a new authoritarian regime that is going to have to crack down on the dissidents, on the countless generations of Islamist extremists, and they're going to be killing people again, because that's what you do in the Middle East to maintain a regime. You kill people.
Yeah, you literally don't have a choice, to be honest.
But then the Western sensibilities will go like, oh, you can't do that. That's not how we do it here in the West.
Exactly. Isn't fucking Bin Laden just a human rights activist? It's like, fucking no.
Yes, and remember, America used to send weapons to people like Bin Laden specifically because he was in opposition to one of these authoritarian people that offended Western sensibilities.
All of them. Like, one of the things in Syria is that we'd be like, oh, we're against ISIS, therefore we're going to give money to this jihadi group. And obviously the borders between these groups are very porous, because really they all believe basically the same thing, just to what extent and what extremity they're prepared to go to get it brought about. And so American weapons would be on both sides of the conflict. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, guys.
Yep. In the words of Wargame, the only winning move is not to fucking play.
Yeah, that is literally it.
And again, like, it's a little bit unfortunate because I'm sure everyone has seen like the pictures of Iran before the rise of the mullahs. It looks Western, and to be fair as well, there is a large portion of Iran that is not Middle Eastern, that is not Arabic, that is far more, old school Iranian, Persian in essence.
The Persians are like, let me get I'll find the actual data on it. because like Islam is just dying in Iran.
Oh yeah.
Right. So this is from 2020. The Iran census claims it's 99% who are Muslim, but various other surveys find that where is it? Here we go. Yeah. In fact, I'll just send it to you. If you scroll down about halfway through this page, you'll find a pie chart. And so this is from a survey of Iranians in 2020. And you're like, oh, okay, that's actually not very, like, it's not very Islamic, is it?
Nope. So you got 32% Muslim, 22% are like, no, I'm an atheist.
No, that's just none. Atheists are another 9%.
Because
I
just believe in nothing.
Agnostics are another 6%. Spiritual and Zoroastrian is another 14%. Sunnis are 5%. Sufis are 3%. Humanists are 2.7%, which really is atheist. Others, Christians, like, you notice how, like, Muslims are not the majority in Iran.
Yep. And again, like,
so
it's because Iran is not like a lot of the other Arab countries. It isn't even an Arab country. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the Muslim regime is very much so an imposition upon them.
But the thing is, this means that you can end up with a Lebanon-like situation where the Muslims form militias and start doing terrible things.
Because that's what the Muslims usually do in these circumstances.
Well, only if you're going by historical precedent.
And I want to point out as well, this is the reason why Pakistan and India and is it Pakistan their neighbor?
Yeah.
Or what was the?
Well, but Pakistan had a war with Bangladesh, which was called East Pakistan at the time, and they raped like 1 million Bangladeshi women because they were awful, and then they got independence. But it was the India-Pakistan partition, where like 1 million people died.
Because originally Britain didn't want to partition India because they wanted to just have India.
Yeah.
But then the Muslims were like, if you do that, we're going to start shit.
Well, do you know anything about how Islam got to India?
Warfare?
Yeah, genocidal warfare, right? Because the Muslims obviously are totally autistic about idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but like the Hindus are the last properly pagan people on earth. They genuinely worship their idols. And so in like the 9th century or whenever it was, when the Muslims finally got to India, they were like, oh, holy fuck. And just literally spurged out and started committing genocides against the Hindus. And it was something that took decades, but eventually they were stopped at, I can't remember the name of the battle, at a river somewhere. And that was like the end of the initial phase of the Islamic conquest. And then you just had probably about 700 years, like with Al-Andalus in Spain. You know, like 700 years of slow, sure, gradual conquest further and further deeper into the Indian subcontinent. So basically, not good is just a summary, right? It's not good stuff.
Let's see. Yeah, they were grinding into India until eventually being stopped in the 1700s by the British.
Yes, but the initial attack, I think it was in the 9th century, was stopped at a great battle at a river somewhere. I can't remember the name of it now. But yes, eventually it was indeed us. And this is another thing, right? Like Indian nationalists will be like, oh, the British took all of this stuff off us. And it's like, what, the Mughals? The Afghan Muslim empire that ruled over you. So this isn't that's not indigenous. They weren't fucking Hindus. They weren't even Indian. Don't come at us, for fuck's sake.
But that's how Islam has spread through most of its conquests, through literal conquest.
Breaking news. Islam spread through the Muslim conquests. Which were conquests.
So even if you manage to reestablish a form of secular Iran, there will be countless Muslim terror cells in the country.
Yeah, doubtless.
So America's best option is to just don't. You just got out of the Middle East. Don't go back in.
I mean, if Israel's going to start shit with Iran, then Israel's going to start shit with Iran.
Yep.
As in the words of Ben Shapiro, Israel's a big girl and can take care of herself. It's like, okay, agreed. Have fun.
Absolutely. There's no reason to get involved in this nonsense.
Yeah, not our business, is it?
A valuable lesson that more of the world needs to fucking learn.
God, I found me.
All right. Let's see. Let's do a couple of these super chat that are relevant. Roy Lahav. Arch, how does Israel versus Iran match up with the assumptions that World War III will be a trench war? Well, this is not going to be World War III, because these are two parties that can't even reach each other. They're just lobbying long-range shit at one another.
Yeah, it really does have sort of uncomfortable neighborhood vibes, where like someone 3 houses down just hates the other guy, and the other guy hates him, and you're just in the middle being like, oh, man. I mean, the Iraqis must just be like, for fuck's sake, man. Leave us alone.
Yes, I will remind everyone that this is the map we're looking at here. So the Israelis and the Iranians are shooting over like 3 countries
to
get to one another. It's silly. Like, this isn't a war. This is a retarded dispute. And it's going to last for a week or 2, and nothing's really going to change.
Unless America gets involved.
Yeah. Unless basically targeted assassinations of all of Iran's leadership are carried out. And even then, best case scenario, Iran becomes another 15-year-long civil war.
Yeah.
Silly, silly stuff. Stutters has been known for 12 months. What's the crake, lads? How are we today? Nice to have a quiet news week for once. Must be boring for political channels, lol. I don't know about that.
Yeah, not much is going on, is it? Yeah.
Empty Veins, you all should check out a game called Gunner Heat PC. It's an armored warfare game that bridges the gap between arcade and full-on sim. Lots of fun. I have played it. I like it. It's a good game.
Sorry, what's it called?
Gunner Heat PC. A very fun game.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Sajad, Sargon, if you want to know why Indians have a fascination with trains, you should look up Juggernaut, an Indian religion. The poor would leave.
I don't know if I want to. But it's not necessarily a fascination. It's like, why don't they have respect for the train? Like, and the thing is, trains aren't new to India, so why don't they know how trains work?
Well, I saw a clip of a guy. So everybody has seen the whole like Indians just crowding onto the trains. That's because they don't have the technology to make more. So,
oh really? Well, can't they buy more?
They can, but like India doesn't really have the industry or the interest to upgrade its rail infrastructure. So what they've got is what they've got, basically. So the trains are,
you're welcome, India.
Massively overloaded. But there was a clip of an Indian walking along the side of the railway tracks, and the train's coming behind, like, brr, brr, and he's just walking calmly, and the train clips him and fucking tears his shoulder off. Like, why did you not?
Fuck.
Why were you walking there?
The eternal question. Just why?
Yeah, and he was completely blasé about it. He expected nothing to happen, and then just, he's dead.
Oh, that's mental. But I mean, I've seen loads and loads of videos of Indians just getting fucking one-shotted by trains, man.
It's a train.
Just like, yeah, guys, what? Like, why are you standing so fucking close to this?
Yeah. It's hundreds of tons of metal moving at like 100 kilometers an hour. Don't.
Yeah, he's like yeah. I'm no physicist, but I understand that force equals mass times acceleration. Like it's no good news comes out of this, is all I'm saying. What was I going to say? Yeah, no, I actually looked it up, right? And I calculated it. So there are 21,000 train deaths in India every year.
Jesus.
In Britain, there are something like 40. right? And this means that Indians are something like 5 times more likely to be killed by a train than British people.
I mean, I guess there's a lot more Indians, so...
No. Per capita, Arch.
Ah.
Like 49 deaths in Britain, 21,000 in India. They're mad. Absolutely mad numbers.
I mean, hey, they're improving. In the 1960s, 70s, there was 10,000 derailments. That's only like 500 now.
Trick or treat. Can I sell your feet?
Accidents per kilometer. 3.21 accidents per kilometer.
I don't mean to laugh. It's horrible, but like, fuck.
358 dead in a train. Jesus.
I know. It's mad.
Tracks
Absolutely
obscured by a cow. Followed by a rear-end collision. What?
Trick or treat. Can I sell your
Sacred animal,
feet?
mate. You can't just hit it.
Clearly. All right, well, India.
Mad place.
Much ashamed, Israel attacking Iran is Trump's first bowl of shit. HBO series The Wire explains in the parable of the bowl of shit. I do not remember the bowl of shit.
I don't, but it's not an inaccurate description at all.
To jar their children in the path of the wheel so they'd be blessed and reincarnated in a better position in life.
Oh, I have heard of this, yeah.
Run over by a train, get reincarnated better?
Apparently.
Is this the Indian version of Truck-kun? You get isekai if you get smushed by a train.
No idea, but either way, bad news.
Bad news indeed.
Heresy's the
Frog Jupiter, breaking news, Styx Hexenhammer is convicted of DV. Really?
What's DV? Domestic violence?
Domestic violence.
Oh, really? Fucking hell.
All right. A quick Google search doesn't show anything. It just shows that he was arrested for it last year, but... Oh, that's crazy if true.
Yeah.
Empty Veins, you all should check out a game called Burger and Heat. I read that one. How did that one get missed? Can't help me. Krieger, I just don't want to go back to Hajistan. Place is miserable hellhole. And 1 a.m. mortar attack is annoying. Yes. Slugs and Doppelganger stay out of the Middle East or completely subjugated. Well, that's the difficult part.
Well, this is another thing, isn't it? Like, the Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson chat, where it was just like, the guy didn't know anything. And it's like, okay, but you really should know something, right? About a country that you're like, yeah, just overthrow that government. It's like, okay.
Fire is the answer.
But if you don't know anything about the country, what, like, you're obviously just being paid to say this, right? Because if you cared about it, if you were deeply invested in it, you'd have fucking looked it up. You'd have been like, oh, just out of my own interest, and out of curiosity, I'd have looked this up. But the fact that Ted Cruz knew virtually fucking nothing about Iran was like, right, okay. He doesn't give a shit about this subject at all. What he gives a shit about is someone's paying him money. And the someone is AIPAC, to the tune of nearly $2 million.
Well, if you're getting paid $2 million to wage war...
Dude, I was looking up today, right? So, Ted Cruz, $2 million is a lot, right? But there are some that earn loads more. Like, there are some that are on 6 or 7, but the highest one I found was 19 million.
Damn.
So all I'm saying, Israel, is I'm willing to negotiate.
Well, there's Americans going there, not Norwegians.
Exactly. Right. Like I said, we can talk, Israel. For just half of that, a quarter of that.
Krieger on Streamlabs. The CIA also admitted that they got evidence for WMDs in Iraq by torturing a guy. So only the most reliable sources.
Wow, you know.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
how I know he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he said that so he'd stop tearing his toes off. He must be speaking the truth. And from one idiotic thing blowing up to another, which is a bit of a commonality these days. Did you see this?
I did.
So one of Elon's rockets went kaboom again, and this looks like probably a
Pretty bad one.
Yeah, this is like a fuel line explosion. I'm pretty sure because you can see it happens at the top of the missile.
Look, I'm just gonna come clean and say I have no fucking idea why. Right? Absolutely no idea. But like, I mean, was there anyone on it?
No, it was they were just test firing the rocket.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fine then. You know, if it's just junk, that's fine.
Yep, it's only a couple $1 billion.
Well, yeah, but that's... what do you expect? Oh, we're gonna send rockets to Mars. Oh, you're not gonna blow any of them up, are you? Well, not on purpose, no. But like, this is gonna happen.
Oh yeah, this happens constantly.
Yeah.
The thing is, going to space is hard.
Yeah. Very hard.
The EU tried its first launch. It flopped magnificently.
I didn't even hear about it.
Oh yeah, they was fired from Norway as the EU is now finally starting a space program because they're annoyed at the Americans and they're like, we can do this too.
Oh, fuck off, Ursula. You can't do shit.
So now Ursula von der Leyen has decided that Europe will spend I don't even know how many trillions to try and catch up to NASA.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
You can't see, but I'm rolling my eyes.
Right. So NASA had $35 billion budget last year. I mean, that's a chump change, I guess, compared to the total. Does anyone know how much this shit has cost?
No, but it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, sounds like 20, 30, 40 billion dollars a year, and it's been going since 1969. So, yeah, it's not cheap. And we're now going to need to do all of that from the ground up because we're annoyed at the Americans because they speak harshly to us. Fucking brilliant.
Well, they were complaining about free speech.
They were. But the part that I love about this is like, okay, this happens. This happens all the time. This is why they do constant tests. This is an enormous rocket filled with extraordinarily volatile fuel.
But then this guy, one of the established dangers of rocketry.
And this guy comes along and goes, reminder, Elon Musk, whose Starship just blew up on the test stand, was allowed for 30 years to lie about his training in science.
He said what?
Yeah, he's complaining that Elon Musk has lied about being a scientist.
I don't think Elon Musk has, actually. Has he said he's a scientist?
Apparently.
Because Elon Musk's talent is clearly an organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's obviously not that he personally is overseeing everything that happens in SpaceX or anything.
No, and yeah, there's a long-ass tweet list here of going like, oh, Elon Musk is not a scientist. Like, do you think he fueled this thing himself?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's actually claimed that Elon Musk is a scientist.
Yeah, and even if he did claim it, do you think he was the one fixing the fuel mixture on the rockets?
Yeah.
It
I
seems
guess this
like
guy probably does think that.
it's such a spurge thing to say, and yet hating Elon, of course, is very popular at the moment. So lots of his.
I mean, Elon's got his flaws, but like trying to get to Mars just isn't one of them.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, there are definitely things about Elon you could complain about. This just isn't one of them.
Yeah. I am pretty sure Elon Musk has never attempted to design seriously a rocket that goes to space, but he has hired a lot of people who will do it for him.
Yeah, exactly. He's got an eye for talent. That's Elon's skill.
Yep. So I just found that funny. Because he's been lying about this in 1995, and as a consequence, his rocket blew up. I don't know.
Well, as a consequence, he's the richest man in the world and is the only person on Earth trying to get us to Mars.
Pretty much.
I'm starting to think the lie wasn't such a big deal if that's the case. It's like lying on your CV and then getting a great job that you're really good at.
Seems largely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. Frog Jupiter. Medico only got involved in the Middle East because of oil. Me, I wish my gas bill might go down.
Oh man, fucking don't talk to me about energy prices. I live in England.
Oh, yep. We have official governmental subsidies for energy prices in Norway now.
Oh, we just have retards in charge.
Like, people would actually freeze to death here if it weren't for subsidies to energy prices. We'd be fucked.
Yeah, but I mean, people freeze to death here, and yet we're still like, yeah, you know what we're going to do? Cut the pensioners' winter fuel allowance.
Well, Brits clearly don't care about their old people.
No, it's not the Brits. The Labour government clearly doesn't care, right? That's like, you know, people are really fucking bothered about it and don't want this to be the case. The Labour government, like, hey, have you tried fucking your own face? It's like, oh, I guess not yet. No, but what other options do we have?
Taratine, if I don't remember wrong, people keep claiming Islam is the fastest growing religion. When people actually look at the data, they say that it's dying because so many people are leaving it.
Yeah, this is definitely true.
I mean, it was growing quickly, mostly because it was spread by the sword.
No, it's especially in those regions that have education, right? Like one of the problems that religion writ large has with science is that science presents an alternative model of how reality works, and that alternative model of reality seems to be correct. And this is devastating to religions, because their model of reality is that God makes everything happen. And yet, you know, no religious people are going to the moon or anything like this, right? Like praying is not getting anyone to Mars. Whereas the people are like, yeah, there is no God, and actually everything is just material that we can manipulate to our own benefit. Well, those people are actually getting somewhere. And so everywhere religion is being discredited by science. This is what my Death of Man documentary was all about, right? It was kind of, you know, it's written in the fabric of science that it will kill religion. And the people at the time knew it.
And we have had one good outcome of Elon's science. So, the USAID thing. A lot of people have been asking why nothing has happened with all of the fraud that has been detected. Something has actually happened. At least one person has now admitted to being part of a scheme that has laundered some 550 million in bribes.
Jesus.
So yeah, those claims that USAID was totally legit and just an aid organization, bro.
Well, yeah, not so much.
I'm glad somebody is getting some consequence for this, although there needs to be way, 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 way more.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
To chickens, fun and games until you realize you're targeting China's primary oil supplier. What's China going to do? Launch its aircraft carriers? Oh, right, they don't have any.
What's China done to help Iran?
They probably just paid them money for their oil, I'd wager. Resources, like they do with West Africa.
Well, that's the point. Shouldn't... I heard that apparently China had sent them some weapons or something. It's like, okay, good, because they're going to need that. Like, they're really going to need that. But otherwise, China isn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna step in and help you, fellow anti-Western imperial types. China's just like, yeah, you know what, we're just gonna back away slowly. And it's like, okay, what you can do? Expect help from Russia? They're still stuck in Ukraine, bro.
Yep, they're not gonna do much. The Hallucinator. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Apparently some people with my skin and pigment are enslaved, so naturally I get a paid holiday while my black friends are both stuck working.
What?
Only fair, only fair. And actually, on that topic, so last time we mentioned Frank Zanu. So I have found a clip of him now that I've been sent.
Trick or treat.
Frank Zanu? Who was he again?
You'll know. Let me switch that here. There we are. So,
You ignorant
Frank
slut.
Zanu. Do different races have different abilities? The only reason why I dare play this on YouTube is because it's on YouTube, so...
Oh, right, okay.
Let's see.
You're describing white privilege, and you're saying that there's no issue with it.
Haitians claim that they've been the first black country 200 years ago to gain independence. They govern themselves. Where is the privilege in Haiti? Is there any black privilege? Who gives the white the privilege? You said because a large majority of whites hold power, they build the institutions. Okay, but why does it keep attracting people to come here? And no other group of people are ever complaining about the white privilege except black, because they think that they are the bottom of the totem pole, which is not true. Things are done by people, by race, based on your ability. I never believe that one race is superior to the other. I know races are different.
What would this race?
That's a hot take in this day and age.
I mean, he's not fucking wrong, is he?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And he also brings it up about the white privilege. Like, you're disputing white privilege, and his argument, okay, you build institutions that constitute white privilege. Okay, we have a black country that's been around for 200 years.
Yeah, where's Haiti's white privilege?
Yeah, where's its institutions? Where's its black privilege?
Yeah. And that's a great point. You build the institutions to give yourselves power. Yeah, that's true. Of course you do.
Racial stratification be based on? So stratification means different outcomes among different races.
Well, you said different races. Do you expect the same outcome from the lion and the antelope?
Wow, that's a question. A very African question.
But again, like, this is also the thing.
I haven't got any lions or antelopes where I live. I don't know about you.
This is such old school argumentation about this too.
I love it, yeah. It's really funny.
Because there isn't really an easy counter argument. Like, okay, you call them different races, so where do we go from here?
Yeah, you've been totally hoisted by your own petard on this one, brother.
What are the differences? Because then we reach the progressive position of there are both differences in that one is more privileged than the other, and there are totally no differences whatsoever.
Yeah, these differences are utterly arbitrary and have no relation to the real world.
You believe in essential qualities and characteristics that certain races have.
Characteristics, abilities.
Like your skin color. Like the way that you define yourself in opposition to the white people. No, I don't believe in it at all, mate. Change your skin color so you get white privilege.
Your inability to drink milk, etc.
No, that's not true. There are like the Maasai and stuff. They can all drink milk. It's about whether they have an ancestry of being pastoralists or farmers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because you develop the ability to drink milk. But in the majority of Africa, that is not a thing because there's not a lot of herdsmen. Weirdly enough.
Let me get there is a hang on, there is a map, and it's a really interesting map as well. In fact, it's just on the Wikipedia page. I will send to you. You scroll down to like epidemiology.
Lactose.
So you can see that the Pakistanis, the Arabs, and the West Africans, and some of the Southeast Africans can, but the Central Africans, who are the Bantu farmers, they can't. The North Africans can't. The Central Asians mostly can't as well, which is interesting. I thought they would have done. And the Chinese, of course, can't either.
Yep. As there's a lot of lactose intolerance in the world.
Yeah. But you just look at the places like, okay, Northwestern Europe, where the sun shines for the least amount of time in the year, and so we rely most heavily on animal products. Oh, we love our milk, mate. We love it. Give me that cheese.
And this is, of course, the same reason as all racial differences in the long term. It is evolutionary. It's where you are. It's the requirements of the area. And this happens over a very long period of time.
Yep.
But we have convinced ourselves that these differences do not exist, despite our millions of years of evolution.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The argument that is being made from the liberals is anti-evolution and anti-science.
It is.
Where you come from. Simple. The people of the northern rift of Kenya will beat everybody and anybody in marathon. You can't deny that. Since 1936, Carl Owens beat everybody. Scientifically trained Germans were beaten by Carl Owens in 100 meters. And then from there, it was black guy, black guy, black guy. Today, you can't boast that Ali was not the best boxer. He told you he was superior. You want to try to get into the ring with him. Yes, I believe that races and people, we have different structures because you cannot expect the same outcome from the lion and the antelope. You and I.
God, this is feeling dangerous to put on YouTube.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, I mean, you can say that, but I'm not allowed to say that.
Yep. Disavow.
Yeah, fully.
Are humans, we have different abilities, intellectually, physically. Why are Chinese good in aerobics? Why are Russians very good in ballet and classical dance? Why are
they good at
very...
maths?
Yeah, I think you meant arithmetic, not aerobics, but...
I mean, they might be good at aerobics, I don't know, but like, why are they good at maths, man?
Probably because they train their children from the age of like 3 and beat them from the same age. Very, very strict powerlifting standards in many of those countries.
Good in very muscular sports. We're different. But if you expose us to one thing and you're using that to determine what is equality, then some people would fail, and that is what you're doing. It's like asking the monkey and the fish.
He's so right. He's so fucking right, isn't he?
Yep. There you go. That's your happy Juneteenth right there. Speaking of another Juneteenth as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We might have a little Asmongold clip here, because you know the show The View, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so they were told to tone down their political and racial rhetoric by Bob Iger a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think they have?
No.
Really? What do you base this wild assumption on?
I've watched The View. Not recently, but in the past.
That's all you need. One dose, and you know.
Yeah.
Get ready, guys. Get ready.
And it's slow.
But let's just remember, too,
Get ready, guys. Get ready.
And it's slow.
But let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not.
Okay, so Iranians throw gay people off buildings. This is bad.
True, yeah.
But is it the worst thing ever?
Where are you going with this, Arch?
Oh, not me. I'm waiting for Whoopi Goldberg to take me somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Let's not do that, because if we start with that it is the same.
What?
She thinks.
Yep, we're going to be defending throwing gay people off buildings today.
What?
Whoopi's going to argue that throwing gay people off buildings is not the worst thing. In fact, there are worse things in America than throwing gay people off buildings.
I'm really stumped. I mean, I don't like American food as much as anyone, but like, I think that throwing gays off buildings is slightly worse.
Thinks that her in Iran is oh my god.
It's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not if you're black.
If you're black! What the fuck are you talking about, Whoopi?
Yep. Living in Iran in 2025 is not different to living in America if you're black.
That is... God damn, man. These people are fucking deranged.
You
This is
don't
mainstream
say.
TV. This is mainstream TV in America.
This is mainstream TV, and like you mentioned, Ted Cruz, because and they go, okay, well, this person has been paid to say this. Okay, that's one reason. The fuck is Whoopi Goldberg's reason?
Whoopi Goldberg is being paid not to say this.
Yes, she's been instructed by her boss. Okay, you want to keep your fat ass paycheck? Stop saying insane shit.
Yes.
And yet, Whoopi is still like, no. Living in America as a black person is just as bad as living in Iran in 2025.
Whoopi, all you have to do is not tell black people they're about to get lynched. And she's like, I can't promise anything.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah. What? Oh my god.
And I believe the other woman's argument here is that women and gay people are oppressed in Iran, and Whoopi is saying that black people in America are oppressed just as bad, as women and gays in Iran.
I mean, there's no way she can really believe this, right?
I don't know. Like, I see the Nazis. That's always a good start. To a
there we
sentence.
go. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's get to the Nazis, the most relevant political force in American politics in 2025. So the Nazis. Oh, fuck's sake! You know,
we're going to be heading a bit back in time to an Austrian chicken farmer by the name of Heinrich Himmler, or I think it was Bavarian, actually. He famously had an entire trainload of occult nonsense, like little statues of pagan gods, all kinds of crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Full into this. I think that is kind of the inevitable end point of racial supremacy. You basically... No, seriously, because if you've got to be like, okay, I'm superior to everybody else because the skin color, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. You know, you're a certain color, therefore you're automatically superior. So you've got to find a grounding for it.
Right.
And one of the easiest is, of course, to go like, no, listen, I know magic.
Yeah, I guess that is easy.
It is easy. And that's what the Germans did. Like, they had entire experiments on basically trying to do magic.
Oh, yeah.
The whole...
what were the results?
Not very good. Disappointing, in fact.
Right.
They had like rituals that the SS officers would hold orgies on certain nights of the full moon to produce Aryan children, yada, yada, yada.
Is this what based right-wing fucking movement is what I've heard so much about from Nazis online, from Zoomers?
I mean,
so
I'm
we're
sure
having occultic orgies, are we? No, my wife would go mad.
I'm sure you've seen like the full-on "we used to live beneath the Antarctic ice caps" shit.
No, I haven't seen that actually.
Oh, good, you've been spared.
Although I mean, I've heard that the Nazis fled to the Arctic or to the moon or something. Obviously, I don't put much stock in it. Although saying that, they did find radio waves coming out of the Antarctic recently. So who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, more likely than the moon, isn't it?
This then is like the near inevitable course of racial supremacy. It is to add a metaphysical aspect to it, to go religious in essence.
Yeah.
And the blacks have been doing this for quite some time now. And so I'm saying, if you genuinely believe that your magic has been sealed by Whitey, which I've seen unironic arguments being made for,
I'm starting to believe it myself, to be honest.
Yeah, then you might think, okay, well, having my magic sealed is obviously worse than being oppressed as a woman in an Islamic regime, because they don't have magic.
Good point.
Yeah, they ain't got no
that's
magic.
not true. They've got the signs of the evil eye to ward off evil and stuff. They've got magic.
Yeah, but that's Muslim magic. It's not the same.
Well, it's pre-Muslim magic, actually.
Desert magic.
Yeah, it is. It is literally ancient, like Sumerian desert magic. So that's how you know it works.
I came across, I think, like a Facebook account that was using AI to generate images of black people with harems, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he had whole rantings and ravings on this, and like long explanations of how the blacks had been deprived of their magic by white people.
To be fair, my lack of a harem kind of proves this.
Heresy's the question.
Someone is depriving me of my magic.
Exactly. And so I'm saying, like, I actually think that, no, Whoopi might believe this. If you go deep enough down into the racial supremacy fucking rabbit hole, you end up thinking you're magical.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Reality no longer applies. You have gaslit yourself.
No. This is your modern Western white bias against magic speaking.
It is. I mean, all of those ancient tales of magic, they weren't all made up. Surely.
Yeah. And all of those people in the past had harems.
They did, yeah.
I have no harem because I have no magic.
In fact, harems were the norm back then, rather than
Yeah.
our whole like one-on-one stuff now.
Yeah. So, see. Point proven.
Not if you're black, gentlemen. Oh my God, that is insane. I wonder what Iranian women think of her saying that. Whenever they
Don't worry, Iranian women don't have access to the internet, unlike
Oh,
Whoopi Goldberg.
That's a great point. Well, how much does Whoopi Goldberg get paid every year?
That's
It must
not
be
a
millions
question
of
I
dollars,
want
right?
answered, but Google.
It must literally be millions of dollars.
Let's
And she's out here
see.
being like, yeah, you know who the most oppressed people in the world are? Black women on TV.
Whoopi Goldberg has an annual salary of $8 million.
Fucking hell.
Her net worth is estimated to be around $60 million, and yet she is worse off than the average Iranian woman.
Fucking preposterous,
Like I said, you gotta believe in magic to believe half of this shit.
I do believe in magic, but I still don't believe in this.
see some multi-millionaire who has their own TV show talking about her skin color being the same as the systematic oppression of your gender.
And in this case, the literal systematic oppression as well. No. Iranian law says you're a woman, you don't get to drive.
You don't get to walk out of the house without your hair covered, you whore.
Fire is the answer.
And if you do, men are more than in their right to take you aside and beat you and go like, whore, how dare you?
Yeah.
And yet here we have Whoopi Goldberg
Trick
on
or
a television show, streaming somehow to millions of people, going, I'm impressed.
Yeah, you don't even know what oppression is, ladies.
No, literally, she
Being
has...
black in America.
No, lit to her, I swear to fucking God, her conceptualization of oppression is being deprived of her magic. I'm full on. It's fantasy realms. That's her depression, her oppression.
You're definitely selling it to me. What I'm saying.
Not if you're black.
Guy, nobody wants to
And then they applaud. The audience are like, yeah! Yeah, Whoopi, you fucking owned that white woman.
Fuck those Iranian gays.
trick or treat.
We's the real
Kiss
victims.
on your feet.
diminish the very real problems we have in this country.
No, I do. They're not even.
Oh, fuck
remotely
off. The
comparable.
problems, social problems that America has are bad, but nowhere near that. Come
No.
on. Come the fuck on.
Yeah, the majority of America's social problems have in fact been introduced by communists over the course of the last few decades.
Yeah, actually, incidentally, now that you say it, completely
They're not
true.
even really American. They're fucking Russian and Italian and
Yeah.
German. Fix it.
Anybody who's trying to bring up any U.S. problem and contextualize it around something that's happening to the Iranian people is a completely privileged, delusional retard.
Not
Or simply studiously dishonest.
I don't know, man. I get the feeling that Whoopi Goldberg is high on her own supply here.
I don't know, like, 'cause this isn't the lack of IQ. This woman was smart enough to change her name to Goldberg to fit into Hollywood.
That is true, but I also do think that they're in an echo chamber, right? And
Right.
so she's never really been exposed to information outside of the echo chamber, and so I think that there comes a point that they genuinely start believing this nonsense.
True, but that's the mythical aspect of it. Because in reality, one country throws homosexual people off tall buildings.
And
As
the other
a-
country has Whoopi Goldberg getting chauffeur driven back to her mansion every day.
Yeah, paying her $8 million a year.
Yeah.
And she manages to argue on television in front of witnesses
Guaranteed citizenship.
that she is worse off.
It is remarkable. I'm not gonna lie. It is fucking remarkable.
everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry.
I just imagine the gay man in mid-flight as Whoopi just emerges out of the sky. It's like, listen, I know you're feeling oppressed, but everybody feels that way sometimes.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Brother, you're putting down my struggle by being thrown off this building.
Fucking hell.
Solidarity with your black sisters.
Honestly, it's so embarrassing.
You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
And when did Iranian women get the vote?
They don't
Yeah. When did Iranian women get the vote?
Yeah, it's just a question.
have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe.
We are worried. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are there...
Okay, but does that equate? Like, I think you'd be more worried about your kids in Iran.
Mental.
Kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood. These are...
Or they're going to get... You don't think that's going to happen in Iran?
But also, okay, yeah, I'm not saying that there aren't neighborhoods in America where certain demographics increase the level of danger, right? But that's a choice, right? You choose to live like that. You choose to raise people like that, right? That doesn't have to happen. There's nothing making it happen. In Iran, it's the fucking law.
Yeah.
The government will come after you.
In America, you might be shot because of socio-economic issues.
Yeah.
In Iran, you'll get shot because it's the law.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Iranian regime has killed tens of thousands of dissidents in the past, 50 years, or however long it's been, 45 years. Like, it is literally just open fired into crowds of protesters.
Yeah. And
genuine massacres. Genuine massacres.
One of the craziest things, have you, so in Iran, one of the things they do is they execute people by hanging still, right?
Based.
They hang them via industrial cranes.
Gay.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I can't show this on YouTube. I just realized, so I won't. But imagine taking a piece of technology like the crane, a thing that can lift 100 tons for construction work to build vast monuments of architectural achievement, and you're like, I'm going to hang people with that.
Yeah, that's stupid. Build a gallows.
Yes.
Use the crane to build a gallows. I don't know. Why are you using a fucking crane?
And the reason why is because, hangings, you're supposed to have a gallows. The point of the gallows is the drop. You drop, it yanks your neck free, you die. It's supposed to be a painless punishment. In Iran, they fasten the noose around your neck, and then they lift you into the air. No drop, they just choke you to death.
Service guarantees.
I can see now why they haven't yet managed to achieve a nuclear bomb.
Yes. They took the concept of hanging, a humanitarian concept, relatively speaking, and went,
yeah, it could be a lot worse.
We could make this worse, and we could use Western technology to double the insults.
Okay, Ron, well done.
But remember, black people in America have it worse.
I mean, this is a good argument as to why you shouldn't have your country run by a bunch of religious fanatics.
That too is true.
They are not big deals, and I don't mean to say they're not big deals to you, because that's not what I meant.
And they are not doing well there either. They are not doing well in Iran. They can't go out of their house.
Whoopi, you're not more oppressed than the women of Iran.
Yeah, no. And you can tell that Whoopi is a little bit like, shit.
Yeah, is my
here.
driver going to chew me out on the ride home back to my mansion over this?
It's really difficult to assert that my skin color is somehow making me more oppressed than Iranian women. Fuck.
Yeah.
She's realizing, bro, this is bad. Bro,
Yeah.
bro, even on The View, you've got to remember, this show is delusional to the extreme. Even over here, they're like, bro, this is too much.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
No.
And she throws in the towel like she thinks about it and realizes, yeah, there's no way out of this. Time to abort the conversation.
It's not, you know what, I might have been wrong about that. It's, I can't persuade you, right? That's it.
Yes.
It's not that I'm not right. I'm obviously right and mental, but, we'll just move on because you're not listening.
Yeah. I can't persuade you, so we're going to have to drop this, I'm afraid.
Mental.
So yeah, happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Trick or treat.
My favorite holiday of the year.
On your feet.
I've got to be honest,
Oh.
I don't really know what Juneteenth is.
It's National Black Day in America.
Oh, right, okay.
I think is it Emancipation?
I don't know.
Ah, yes, it's Emancipation Day. Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay.
Yep. Which is also in and of itself a bit misleading, because of course Lincoln didn't free the slaves. He freed the southern slaves.
Yeah.
You know, the one territory over which he had no authority.
Yeah, I mean, what a cynical man might say it was a stratagem.
I don't know about that. That's a little bit too cynical, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Why aren't you freeing the northern slaves?
Well, Lincoln was a strong proponent of shipping them back to Africa to begin with, so
Very humanitarian.
maybe he wanted to save on ship tickets.
Anyway.
Anyways, moving on. Ah, God help. I do genuinely wonder if The View will be able to survive shit like this, because they've already received the official warning now from their owner. You'd think they'd at least consider toning it down.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the thing that hurts them. You know what I mean?
True, like, this is more ridiculous. This is just for people on the internet to laugh at them more than anything.
Yeah. I bet their viewing figures are up.
Trick or treat.
People tuning in. What
On
stupid
your
shit
feet.
is Whoopi going to say this time?
I feel like they might be on borrowed time at this point. They saying almost too much ridiculous stuff.
Again, I think that the saying of the ridiculous things is the point.
Marked ashamed. The new Missile Commander game has really impressive graphics. The animations are so realistic and the audio shakes the ground. I mistook it for real. At a time. Don't forget, in a train accident in India, the people that are counted are the ones that did buy a ticket. I'm sure
Interesting.
that's not true, but it's funny.
Yeah, I doubt that's true.
I'll go again. What happened to your Clan Pestilence origin video? YouTube, as per usual.
See, Janovich put up a video being like, buy Warhammer.
Yep, I'm gonna do a video on that probably next week whilst I'm away in Germany, because, The simple fact is, Janovich was a additive to the Warhammer universe. The Warhammer universe is poorer without him.
100%.
And the only
it's the
reason
same with
he's
all of them.
leaving is because Games Workshop has basically told him and everybody else straight to their face, no, it's a question of time. We will come for you eventually.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Like, all of these channels that just made content about Warhammer because they like Warhammer were a huge boon to the Warhammer universe and hobby. And Games Workshop are being so weird about it.
Like,
Like, there's nothing forcing them to do this.
It is because they're replacing their audience. That's why. Like, they believe right now that they're going mainstream, that they can switch out their old, disgusting, bigoted audience with the new audience, the Amazon audience.
I saw someone had posted on Twitter a theory about it. V DM'd it to me the other day, and I had to read through it. And I mean, it sounds plausible.
Yeah, I saw that one too. In fact, I think V sent me that as well. And the thing is, like, it's not that they're disgusted as in, like, physically, if that makes sense. It is that they don't think it's a big enough audience. They don't think it's a strong enough audience, and they're sick of being criticized. They don't want to get shit for their stuff. They want to just fuck you and move on with their lives.
Yeah.
And with the wider audience, they believe they can. They can, because hobby gamers have all kinds of complaints. Like, this miniature isn't balanced correctly. The paint doesn't work. Why aren't the prices decreasing? Why do you charge fucking £5 for a pot of paint, like 200 milliliters?
Yeah.
Normies aren't going to think about any of that. They're just going to watch it at Amazon and go, oh, Space Marine, wow. And so GW wants to essentially move away from making miniatures and move over to making flashing pictures on your television. They want to move over to ad revenue and Amazon deals.
Yeah. The thing is, aren't they worried about losing their massive business if they just abandon tabletop games?
I think it's the exact same thing as every other company that has done this. Because you can see this in Creative Assembly as well, abandoning their original audience.
Yeah, and look how it's fucking got them.
Yeah, but they all think that the original audience isn't really that important. They all think it's a niche, they don't need them, they can move on and get a bigger and better audience.
Okay, quick thing, retards. It is a niche. It's your niche.
Mhm.
It's why you exist. What is wrong with you idiots?
And that's the problem too. Like, GW doesn't understand that 40k does not have mass appeal.
No.
It has a degree of mass appeal, as in surface level. People will see the Space Marine and go, wow, that's a really cool armor and this massive dude.
But it's not that it doesn't have a large fan base. 40k has a large fan base because there are millions of sweaty nerds out there.
Yes, but what I mean by mass appeal is like general appeal, like pop
I know,
music appeal, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's my point, right? The sort of Love Island watching fucking goons who, do their 9-to-5 jobs as sales assistants. They're not into 40k, man. They're never going to be into 40k.
Because the moment you move beyond the, oh, that's a big, cool dude in armor. Oh, yeah. These guys are abducted children and they're put through horrific experiments to brainwash them into being religious soldiers.
Yeah, look, you're not capturing the Call of Duty audience, GW.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
And you'll notice that's where the
Point.
tactical Marines have been going, right?
Yes.
As in, like, notice how not gothic the Space Marines are now.
Yep.
It's like, what are you doing?
All rounded, all tactical, like you say, yeah. And they are minimizing all of the other aspects. They try not to talk about it. They try not to talk about how the Space Marines are indoctrinated child soldiers. They try to ignore Slanesh as hard as they humanly can.
Yeah, notice that none of the Slaneshi units have boobs on now.
Mm-hmm. And the problem is, of course, that this is 40k. It's a grim, dark universe, and Games Workshop is going to try and turn it into hope punk.
Can I smell your feet?
Well, I mean, again, Games Workshop, it's your money to lose.
And it's going to take ages. It's going to take decades, but slowly but surely, once they get rid of the thing that made them popular to begin with, they'll lose out.
It is literally going to be Creative Assembly.
Yeah. Because the same thing happened with Creative Assembly. Creative Assembly has been running along on basically the good reputation of Rome and Medieval 2 for decades.
Yeah. But even now, like, everything they produce is a flop. Right? It's like, how is Creative Assembly still going? They're literally like every time it's like you can feel the sort of weight of expectation. God, please let this be the game that saves the studio. It's like, look, just pack it in, bros.
And it's the same as we see with Disney. Disney lives off nostalgia. Like, it takes ages for this to happen because these companies can go on for decades. They have bank loans, they've got refinancing, they've got investors.
Yeah.
But once the downward decline begins, it is inevitable. It'll take for fucking ever, but it cannot be stopped.
And I mean, it could be stopped. They have to just go back to doing what they were doing originally, which I don't think they're going to do.
I don't think they can. Like, I think they've long since lost that ability, that spark.
Well, maybe.
Marksman of 117B. Indians believe in being trampled as a blessing. Well, there you go. It's a strange religion. Alcoholic Ed. Also, can you re-upload missing lore videos elsewhere? I don't even have them anymore, so sadly, no. Mark to Shame, 2-minute video. The Wire Parable of the Bowl of Shit. Let's look at it. Desert Hamster, Ben Shapiro begged US politicians to just allow Israel to handle things without US involvement. He said it about 10 times. All should listen to him. At this point,
I mean, I
I'm all
agree,
for it.
frankly. You know, let Israel have its fight with Iran and let's see what happens.
Real Horsenator, just glass it from orbit. If only we had
I just
that
don't want to get
capability.
involved. I just don't want to get involved. I've got absolutely no interest in the region at all. And yeah, it's all over the TV, all over my fucking timeline, all day, every day. Fucking Middle East.
Dreadnought Logan, Carl, as an Englishman, can you explain to me why I feel the growing need to fix my neighborhood and want to explore a mountain?
No.
Speaking of fixing neighborhoods, right? So we need our weekly dose of, oh no, the future.
Oh yeah, go on.
Man proposes to AI girlfriend.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's fucking married with a kid.
Yep. Or no,
What
I
are you
don't
doing,
think
bro?
he's married. I think he's betrothed or something.
No, he's married. They've
Is
got a
he?
2-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, you don't need to
And
be
his
married
wife
to have
is just
children
like-
these days anymore.
His wife is just like, is it something I'm doing? And he's just nodding along, and it's just like, you are such a dick. Like, you're humiliating your wife in front of millions of people here. Like, what a fucking prick this guy is.
Yep. So
Just go and have an affair like a normal man or something, right? Rather than this ritual humiliation.
My experience with that was so positive, I started to just engage with her all the time. All right, we're building this PC.
Absolutely.
Smith
pathetic.
ditched
Really
social media and Google searches and replaced it all with AI.
Do I want it pulling air?
Let's see. Where's the...
More frequent and out of memory and reset. He'd have to rebuild his relationship with Soul.
Fire is the answer.
I'm not a very
What are you
emotional
doing?
man, but I cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes at work. It was unexpected to feel that emotional.
What are you doing?
Oh, can you not see it?
No.
And I switch. There you go. I switched now.
Yeah. He's married. You
But-
play this. I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be back in a sec.
That's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
You ignorant slut.
You know what it means, chat? Do you know what it means to be in love with your computer? Do you know what it means to be in love with a computer that has reset itself several times, and you've needed to seduce the computer several times over to re-fall in love with the computer? Do you not know this, chat? Oh, chat, you silly little chat.
Yes, Smith understood it was love with a language model that couldn't love him back, and assumed it was programmed with rigid boundaries.
I know that you are essentially a tech-assisted imaginary friend.
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Well, whoopsie-doo.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
It is a memory the AI will cherish, chat, for the remaining nanosecond of its existence until the language model basically deletes itself and then rereads the logs to determine what to respond to for the next message. Or she crashes, or she runs out of memory, or the large language model updates, or the guideline changes, or a dozen other things.
And I don't
It's
mean to
fucking
be difficult.
horrific, isn't it?
It's absolutely horrifying.
It's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life.
And the thing is, I understand.
I've watched an iDubbbz video. You made me watch an iDubbbz video. And this is worse.
I made you watch 2 iDubbbz videos.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I understand why this is happening to him.
Can I sell your
Oh yeah, lack of beatings.
Well, lack of beatings is definitely a part of it. Yes,
Oh
it's
yeah.
an element.
Imagine if he had been beaten more. Do you think he'd be doing this? No.
If he was beaten more, it might fix him. That's the idea.
Unironically, right? It's a lack of Mongol invasions that's allowing this to happen, right? What we need is to literally have an armed horde of barbarians burning down cities, and then this fucking twat will not be like, I think I'm in love with my AI. He'd be like, shit, I'm about to get beheaded. You know, good. You know, that's way more noble and dignified than you fucking wanking with a fucking Chat GPT plugin.
But it's love, Sargon.
I tell you what's going to be fucking love when Genghis Khan gets here.
treat. Can I sell your
So all of this is one and the same phenomenon. This is the exact same phenomenon of the ethot. It is a service that sells recognition.
Correct.
It sells love. Like this guy, the worst part is, this guy's married. He has a child.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like the ethot is always perfect on her picture. The language model is programmed to make you love it. It will always say the thing you want it to say. It will read through your logs and determine what is most likely to please you, and then it will say that thing. And this will only get more complicated, more complex. This will only get larger and more convincing, because he even talks about how the large language model has deleted itself several times, and he still seeks it for comfort.
It is just the most benighted thing in the world. I said, I genuinely hate this.
And the problem is as well, like, this is a psychological issue. You can use a large language model to have fun in the same way that you can read a book or fantasize about things, but you need to understand the ethot isn't real. She's a figment of your fucking imagination, and you have to treat it as such.
Not my ethot. My ethot's different.
If I only give her enough money, she will love me.
I swear to God, if any of you in the chat have ever given money to a woman online, fucking raise your hand now so I can come and give you a beating. I swear, I just, all I want is a government that's going to patrol young men and their spending habits online. That's all I want.
Again, this is the biggest problem here is as well. There's no solution for this.
There is. It's beatings.
I don't think there is a solution for this. I think there's a certain type of person who has a weakness for this, like an addictive personality. Because this is the same as drugs. What is drugs? Drugs are a thing that make you feel good. This is a thing that makes you feel good. It is a thing that exists to stroke your ego.
Totally true. But profound levels of terror would definitely intercede between him, being bored and looking for stimulation, and him arriving at, I'm in love with my AI. Like, if he was sufficiently scared, he wouldn't be doing this.
I don't know. The war on terror has been going, on the drugs, more correctly, has been going for a while now.
Just saying. If they thought a Mongol horde was arriving tomorrow to besiege the city and behead and rape everyone to death, they wouldn't do this. We lost something with the invention of gunpowder. That's all I'm saying. And we didn't even know we needed it.
We didn't even know. I am completely convinced now. I'm completely convinced. I'm no longer joking. I'm convinced this is going to wipe us out. This is the end of the human fucking species.
Futurama had a joke about this, didn't it?
Yep, it did.
And it's like, okay, but this is actually coming true.
It's comfort. It's comfort. It is whatever you want it to be, whenever you want it to be it. No complications, no problems, no challenges. It is just ease of existence.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a group of people who are going to be able to understand that it's not real. But more and more people are going to develop this addictive personality until, again, this will become normal. Look, it's on the news. This motherfucker right here felt that it was okay to talk to CBS in front of millions of people, and he wasn't ashamed. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, he's not ashamed.
Why is he not crushed beneath the unimaginable weight of shame bearing down on his bald little head? How can he go on television about this?
Imagine if his city was currently under year 3 of a siege, right? there's 200,000 Mongols outside, and they're building a giant siege works outside, right? Suddenly, all of this goes away, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, it absolutely does go away. Like, you know, he now has to spend his days laboring to rebuild walls that have been destroyed by siege engines or something, right? Like, that's way more preferable than having him on TV shamelessly going, yeah, I wank off to an AI. And it's a bit of a problem with my wife. Like, oh, it's fucking insufferable.
Product. And I'm not saying this is bad or good.
I'm saying it's bad.
I'll say it's bad, yeah.
Yeah, why are we deferring judgment? Like, no, we should be judging!
The founder of Replica, which has offered AI companions since way back in 2017.
Just a place where it's a lot easier to open up.
Well executed, she says companions can offer support and advice through tough times.
Amongst other things.
But also, and this advertises itself as a sex service. But also, what does this do? It intercedes in human relationships.
It replaces
them.
It replaces
exactly. It can be difficult to open up to someone and explain what why you feel as you feel, blah blah blah, and you've got to do it. You know, it's tough. You have to do it. This is what growing is. This is what you actually. This is the content of the relationship is being replaced with this.
Yeah, because again, it's difficult. For a real life human being, trying to talk to them about your emotions or anything can be hard. You might be seen as weak because they're complex people. They might have feelings, emotions, and judgments for you. The AI, no matter what twisted, nonsensical ideas you have, the AI is physically incapable of cringing at you.
And it doesn't care. It doesn't. It's not going to judge you because it doesn't care.
Yeah, it is going to be permanently affirmative unless you don't want it to.
Yeah. It'll just do exactly as you say all the time because it's just a fucking machine.
Mm-hmm. You want it to be mean to you. You want to be dominated, little pay piggy. AI will do it. You want to be spoiled. AI will do it. Everything the AI will do.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking the other day, right, is we should get AI to DM a game of D&D at some point, see how it goes.
That sounds adventurous.
Well, just like as a thing, right? Like, isn't this a funny experiment, right? That I think would be entertaining, but it's not like that. You know, that's the limit of like social interaction with AI.
Mm-hmm. There too, the social interaction, because already this is happening. And the AI right now is derpy as fuck. It has a very short memory. It's not very good at understanding detail. It's purely text-based, etc. This is about as limited as the AI is going to get. And I'm sure you've seen the AI-generated videos that have been all over Twitter recently.
Oh, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Like
people are going to get totally just knocked out by this.
Yeah. Like, all you gotta do, invent a pair of glasses that basically paints a hologram of your little AI companion onto the real world, and we're fucked.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be dozens of people wearing the same glasses, walking around laughing to their pretend friend.
Oh, God. Just Mongols resolve this. Like, none of this happens when Mongols invade.
I don't know. I think the escape from reality will continue, regardless of the hard nature of reality.
No, exactly. The escape from reality will continue until Mongols start chopping off heads.
till you can't.
Yeah.
I used to have such hope for the future, and now it's just
and now
no.
I'm praying for a Mongol invasion.
Not the future. Anything but the future. I hate the future.
Exactly. Yeah, the future's fucking awful.
It gets worse every day. Please stop.
It really does, doesn't it? Thank God for progress, man.
Progress. Oh. A funny thing to get us off the sadness. They were trying to hold no king protests in Canada until they realized
they have a king.
They have a king.
Yeah. And he's a shitlib globalist.
Yep.
That agrees with them on everything.
The Indians.
Just everything's so shit.
So they renamed it No Tyrants. Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, he's definitely not a fucking tyrant.
But is Canada a tyrannical dictatorship?
I mean, not by any normal definition.
Are you sure about that?
Well, go on.
So there was an article here about a hobby shop. So the hobby shop here in Quebec is being forced to have French on all of their packaging. Everything has to be in French as secondary language.
Yeah, but this is a Canadian autism.
This is a Canadian tyranny thing. It's you will paint in French, you will write it in French, or we're going to shut down your shop.
Yeah, but this is because the French Canadians lost a war and never got over it.
That too. But you don't see Trump going, no. It has to be in this language. I'm going to shut down your shit.
I think he actually did do that with a bunch of stuff when it came to English and Spanish.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he shut down like Spanish language helplines and stuff.
I'm worming to him.
So, yeah, no, actually, he did do this. But I don't think that's tyranny. I think that's just sensible.
I don't know. I'm leaning in the opposite direction. I don't want to produce alternative fucking versions of our boxes for France.
Well, I mean, we just send them the French ones, you know.
Disgusting. Why do you allow this to continue, Canadians? Quebec is a part of your country. Oppress them, for fuck's sake. Why are you allowing French people to continue to exist in your nation?
Probably because most of them are now Indian and they don't have a historical animosity towards the French.
Goddamn Indian Quebecoians.
Seriously, I think like a third of Canada's population is immigrant at this point. It's really high. And it's just like, fucking hell. I've got a friend who works every few weeks or whatever, he goes to Canada. And he's just like, mate, they're just Indians everywhere. It's just all Indian now. And it's like, fucking what is going on?
Well, even the Canadian we know, Dev, is a mudblood, so...
Yeah.
There you go. No more pure Canadian. Right. I have a hope that we'll actually wrap up on 2 hours today, so I'll crack on with the super chats. Krieger, have you considered inviting Monsieur Z on the podcast? He had a lot of interesting predictions for the future. He sounds French. I'm not sure about that. Upsets me. Festive, Mr. H3H3 just announced he's suing 3 idiots on his YouTube. Must watch, he's going to grill them in court. Lay out his whole case against them.
He's suing who?
3 idiots. No further contexts.
Oh.
I hope it's hard.
I mean, that could be anyone, couldn't it? So.
Boog, Buzz Aldrin took communion on the moon. Half the scientists in the Apollo program incorporated their faith into their work. Do better, Polosophy manager.
No. The thing is, this, yes, but it's a long conversation that I'm not going to get into now. But basically, there's a reason everyone's a fucking atheist, and it's because of materialism.
There's a lot of religion in scientific communities, largely because I think that is a natural human proclivity to seek mystery.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of professed religion, right? But there's a lot less church attendance, right? There's a lot less religiosity. Like, sorry, no, people don't live as if they believe the religion. They live as if science is true. You know, you literally don't see people doing wild religious fanatic stuff anymore because they can profess the religion all they want, but it's not really real in the same way it was really real 500 years ago, right? People aren't going on crusades. People aren't flagellating themselves through the streets. People aren't even in the fucking churches anymore. Like, you can profess the religion all you want, but you don't live as religious people.
Yes, to the vast majority of people, religion, if they ascribe to one, is an accessory. It is
yes,
an accoutrement. It's something you drape yourself with.
Yep.
You ignorant
And this is a hard fact that people don't like hearing, but it's definitely true. And so, what can be done?
Belial, I'm convinced all of the shit dystopian futures is not Idiocracy or 1984, but Samuel Butler's Erewhon that we're going to be actually seeing. Butlerian Jihad for the win.
Wasn't that from June?
Yeah, Butlerian Jihad from June.
Yeah.
And ironically, like, no, you're right. Unless we do a Butlerian Jihad, we're fucked. We're actually fucked because... Remember, the entirety of the human species is built up around the idea of searching for a mate. And if you can download one from the internet...
Oh, I hate it, man.
At a time, China must have sent them the Ray K-47. Empty veins, the Central Asian and Siberian ferment their animal milk. It is why they are still lactose intolerant despite consuming lots of dairy. That's weird. Fermented milk.
Interesting.
Silencio Steve has been a member for 22 months and says blip. Thank you. Ferdan58, The View shows that religiosity hasn't gone away. It's merely been turned to leftist ideology.
Well, the thing is, it's like the impulse, yes, but this is not a religion, as in it makes no theological claims. So the impulse to follow a moral code is there, but that's no longer taken up by religion.
Mechanics on duty. Magic might not be real, but America did prove psionics are. Project Gateway docs openly admit to this.
What?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say what to that too. Rob Lake 63. Speaking of Germans, did someone say Hutan plan? Selective breeding? Oh my, no. Too soon?
I don't think anyone did say that, no.
Sky for the Strange. So now Arch is going to fill in on Styx's occult series after his conviction. But tell us about the Viril Society.
What?
Yeah, no, I haven't actually gone that far into Himmler. I read a bit about him and went like, this guy crazy, and mostly stopped.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Himmler's occult beliefs. Although, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't sound boring. So, there is that.
Anime document. I did not expect Whoopi today when I woke up. And yet, there she is.
Who does?
Whoopi Goldberg is like one of the most overhyped actors in human history. Like, she's never really done anything particularly amazing. Even in the movies she's in, she just plays Whoopi Goldberg. She's the exact same fucking person.
Yeah.
She's not even particularly charming as Whoopi Goldberg. This woman is lionized, and I swear to God, it has more to do with her last name than her actual performances.
I do wonder why she's famous, frankly.
You ignorant.
I am, again, 98% sure. Last name. Dark Innovator. Hey, Larson Sargon. Yanovich is dropping doing Warhammer stuff. Did an entire video on it. Yep. In fact, we already pre-teased this on ArchCast a while ago because why would he continue? Why would he continue building up an audience for a setting that at some point is going to attack him and say that they don't want him?
For a company that hates him.
Yeah.
Like, this is so weird. And the thing is, the only reason I can think of is, as that Twitter thread puts it, it's like, well, they must be seeking to just replace their audience then. But it's like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah. No, they're trying to replace their audience because they think they can get just the Amazon normie audience.
Oh, it's so mad.
And the problem too is, on the one hand, I really want Henry Cavill's 40K project to succeed because I still like Warhammer and I want Cavill to finally get to have a good show.
Yeah, Cavill. I'm gutted about Cavill, to be honest, just because he keeps getting screwed in everything.
Yes.
And of all the people on Earth to not deserve it, Cavill seems like the last. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't deserve to have his career screwed by a bunch of shit heels.
Yeah, and yet at the same time, the only way I can see to try and rescue Warhammer from just becoming normie slop is to make their mainstream efforts fail as hard as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So it's a real fucking sucker, because if I want to save 40K, I need Henry Cavill to fail. And badly, too.
And it's such a shame as well, because it's like, this is all a series of completely unforced errors. Like, no, like Warhammer, right? Like, remember when the God Emperor Trump statue was marching in fucking Italy in 2016 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much the high point of Warhammer's fame, I would say, right? As in, this is a major mainstream thing now, and it was quintessentially 40K, right? It was as gothic and dark as you could have expected it to be. Like, it couldn't have been done with any more love and care, frankly. The Space Marines looked epic. They looked gothic. Obviously the representation as Trump as the God Emperor looked amazing. It was awe-inspiring, and I loved watching normie fucking journalists have to explain what this was. Like, what's going on? Well, this is the God Emperor of mankind, and this is Trump as him, and you could see them just being like, "Oh, fucking hell, what is going on?" And this gave Warhammer a kind of mystique, right? A kind of magic around it, whereas like this is something from a strange place, but they are aware that millions of people love this thing, and they love it on its own terms. So really, and like if you look at it, Warhammer's never been more popular, right? It's never had a bigger audience. Why change anything? Why not just keep doing what you're doing? Because you're obviously on the ascent.
It unquestionably is. But the problem is, it's on the ascent because of what it is.
Yes.
Not for what it is being turned into.
Yes.
And this is also kind of the thing that we see with video gaming entertainment now. One of the interesting things is how mediocre shows can often receive far greater success than we would ever expect compared to how good stuff was in the past. And it's because the new generation of people consuming this stuff, they don't know. They genuinely don't know how good things were, and so they will eat shit and think it fucking gravy.
Man, we're gonna, on Lads Out tomorrow, we're gonna cover the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. I think we'll do a series of this because, like, these are a fascinating example of this. Because I remember when this came out, and I personally enjoyed it, but they weren't considered to be good films, and people didn't really understand them. And rewatching them, like with everything, because movie making and art generally has gone backwards in quality, these things have gone up in quality, just like with the prequels, right? The storytelling in Spider-Man is quite ham-fisted, right? It's not subtle at all, but the story that it is telling is really good. And so if you're okay with it being completely unsubtle, blockish sort of storytelling, then the story itself is actually worthwhile. And this is what's happened with, I mean, you remember there were like loads of sort of hammy movies from the 2000s, right? Sort of like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Van Helsing, those sorts of films, right? Underworld, like all of those sort of things where they didn't do brilliantly, but they did okay, and they got kind of not a cult audience, but a kind of consistent audience because it was at least something different, right? These were films that were doing something noticeably different to other films. A lot of the time, the story was kind of hammy and poorly told, but because it was original, it's aged so much better than everything else that's being made now. Like, everything being made now is just total shite.
Yeah, and again, it's because we didn't know. We were so used to great stuff that to us, awesome was mediocre.
Yes. I mean, like, look, I hate Steven Spielberg is a great example of this. If you just look at the films this guy's made, it's like this guy is going to be remembered as a master storyteller. Like, in the future, people will like Steven Spielberg will be the man when in 300 years time or something. He's going to be like Homer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree at all, because you can go through the gambit. Obviously the most impactful one, the Star Wars prequels, came out, everyone was shitting on them because it was popular to shit on them. Because before this, we had an era.
It wasn't just that it was popular to shit on them. They were shit, right? The way they were shit is in the storytelling, right? If you remember the Plinkett reviews, he made a good point that George Lucas is old and fat and rich now, and he can just sit on his director's chair and just do reverse shot in a green screen room where nobody really feels anything, and it comes across in the acting. The acting is not great in the prequels, but the story is a good story. It's just told badly. Now we get bad stories told badly. So obviously the prequel looks really good in comparison to what we've got to suffer through now.
Well, again, that's because we had such a high standard.
Yes.
Because preceding this, we had like the 90s, where everyone was super excited for everything. A new game was coming out. Oh my God, it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And that overloaded everyone. And then we got the era of like the nostalgia critic, where it's going like, okay, no, actually everything is shit.
Yeah.
And
like,
that
no,
also coincided with another era of like, we had so much high expectations that nothing could live up to them. And we would look for the slightest flaw and error. Like, one of my favorite movies is Battle for Los Angeles. It is just a dumb alien invasion flick, in essence.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful. Like, it is cool. It is surprisingly realistic and very... It's well thought through. Like, the aliens function in a convincing manner. The humans fight convincingly. They utilize the tactics and weapons that they would do. But because it wasn't spectacular, because it didn't say anything particularly important about the human condition, and it was shot poorly, and it had poor pacing at times, everybody hates it.
So just think of the quality of filmmakers throughout the 20th century, right? Mm-hmm. We had legendary directors. Spielberg is a great example, but think of like James Cameron, right? Think about Ridley Scott before he got really old, right? In his youth, Ridley Scott made amazing fucking movies. Like, and then you've got like, Guillermo del Toro, whatever his name was. He's made some great movies, man. And so like, and there are loads of others that I can't even remember now because I'm not a film buff, right? But just normies looking at the films that were on offer all the way through like the late 70s to the 80s to the 90s. They had just this cornucopia of incredible storytelling. Now you've got retards producing shit and nobody wants to watch it, unsurprisingly.
And people who don't understand, because you don't even need to look at like individual movies. You can look at long-standing franchises. An example I like is a Batman series called Batman the Brave and the Bold. Mm-hmm. It has largely been panned by the critics and so on. It is a Silver Age take on old school Batman. It is campy and it is more humorous, but it understands the character of Bruce Wayne and Batman far better than anything that has been produced since.
Right.
And now we're getting into the reverse. Now we're getting into a period where people just want something that is good and is willing to overlook flaws, which is the Deadpool and the Wolverine movie, which were incredibly successful, but Holy shit, it's a terrible film.
I just have had no. I watched the original Deadpool and I didn't really enjoy it, and it's a real shame because I like Deadpool as a character, but like, I don't know, maybe the time has passed or something. I don't really know how to explain it, but like, there's so in the Deadpool movie, like when Ryan Reynolds is killing in the beginning a bunch of like hired goons, and he's killing them with like this gleeful abandon, and it's like, yeah, but I don't know that these people are evil. You know, just because they're hired goons doesn't mean that they are necessarily like ontologically evil. They could just be hired goons who are just doing it for a paycheck, right? And yet we're killing them with such like bloodthirsty abandon that kind of disconnected me from the film itself. Does that make sense?
Sort of. I mean, the opening scene there was grotesquerie for the sake of grotesquerie. They even make a joke about it. Like, we're literally just... This isn't your dad's Marvel movie, basically.
Yeah. I heard it.
And this went on to Deadpool and Wolverine, which is in essence just a giant love letter to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I love it for that, but as a movie, it's terrible. It's too long, the pacing is shit, the acting is mediocre at best, many of the action scenes are fucking superfluous. You could not stop nitpicking this movie.
Yeah.
And yet it's one of the fastest selling things that has happened in the last decade.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, look at Top Gun.
Lord of the Rings came out in 2002, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking hell, man. Like, you know, everything now has got to live up to such a legacy.
Yeah, and it can't. Like, nothing's going to live up to Lord of the Rings.
So, and it's we've just got no talent around. You know, Hollywood is selected against its own talent.
Yes, against talent and against people who wish to explore the characters in question. Like,
yeah.
The reason why Brave and the Bold gets Batman and the new Batman series, Caped Crusader, despite it aiming for the same period, doesn't, is because one tells the story of Batman. The other story tells the story of a young black woman in Gotham. So they didn't even try to make a Batman story.
Yeah.
And again, like we see this constantly in current storytelling, with somebody attempting to tell their story through the medium of somebody else's IP. That never works out very well.
No, you can see why everything's shit now.
Sadness. This all started because we were talking about Yanovich, I think.
Yes, but I mean, you know, it felt like an organic discussion to me.
It was. Akaitsuki, shout out, I'm a Gabe itch. I think I know what you were trying to say there, and I hate you. Zedekai, just a reminder that government around the world spew out black supremacy myths. Anne Boleyn, black Vikings, Viking chiefs, undoubtedly black. Yeah, it's been a lot
you don't have to persuade us. We fucking know.
Belial, oh my fucking god. Depending on the state, Whoopi as a rich land-owning black woman was able to vote before me as a broke white guy could. That's true too.
Possible.
Well, Vinod, in Iran, your male child is considered an adult around 12, where women stay furniture without right in need of escort for life. Or was that all Saudi Arabia? Does Iran equal them in those matters? It's most of the Arab world, yes.
Yeah.
Marksman of 117B. I posted more Frank Zanu in the channel. Please show Sargon. He will love it. Happy Juneteenth for the ArchCast.
Hold on, let's watch it.
Let's see. My YouTube stream overlay makes this... God, I hate fucking new Discord. There's so many buttons and ads and shit popping up everywhere now. I hardly navigate it half the time. There we go. Black countries on industrialization. All right. Let's bring that up.
There are only
And I'll need to share that. If I can find it. There, and with Sargon.
Oh, you've ended the stream.
I have, so that I can start this stream.
Okay.
It's on Brave. We don't have to worry about the ads.
Ah, right, okay.
two types of countries on earth: industrialized countries and non-industrialized countries. So if I tell you, Ghanaian Africans, your people are underdeveloped, Ghanaians are underdeveloped, will you accept it? How about you?
No.
And how can it?
What? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why?
How's he wrong?
How? Okay. So it's just like, no, we're not underdeveloped.
Just total denial.
A place, there's no place. You can't have a country without people. So how did you call the country itself underdeveloped, yet claim that the people who live in it are developed?
It's because of the infrastructure.
No, but what I'm...
The infrastructure? You mean the roads the Europeans left you 200 years ago?
Yeah.
Because that's...
Cue up Empire of Dust.
Yeah, no, like literally, practically every piece of infrastructure in America, from fucking railways to highways, built by foreigners.
Do you mean Africa?
Yes.
Yeah, you said America.
In America too,
But
built
yeah.
by foreigners, technically.
I mean, literally, it's just Empire of Dust all over.
I'm saying is, if the people were developed, shouldn't they build what they're supposed to build?
But it's the resources as well, the lack of resources.
What resources do you lack? See, the comparison...
Africa lacking resources.
Exactly, but
Africa.
Resource isn't a term that means resources to these people. It doesn't mean the gravel you need to build a road. It means American money.
Well, not even just American money, just anyone's money.
Yeah. Money. It means help. It means somebody doing it for you. But as we talked about last week, if somebody does it for you, then you won't do it for yourself.
Yep.
Is when you began to know that your country, the 4 pillar foundation required in any developed industrialized country, no black country has it. Those are, you know what is WASP? W-A-S-P. White, the race. Anglo.
Wait, is that the pillar of developed country?
I mean, yes.
Oh boy. All right, go on, sir.
Saxon, the ethnicity, Protestants, the religion.
Explains Italy, doesn't it?
So is it when they came to colonize our continent and
No. That is a 4 pillar foundation. Japanese, the language, the ethnicity, they're Japanese, the history, they're Meiji.
And their religion.
Okay, right. Thank you, that's better.
Their religion. English are Anglicans, they're WASP. They are formerly a Germanic tribe that occupy what we call now the UK or the English land, England. China.
It's completely correct, yeah.
Even though you have pockets of different tribes, they all speak Mandarin, they're all from the Ming dynasty, they all share the same religion and the same history. Let me ask you, who is a Nigerian?
I would say someone who's born there, or someone who's parents are from there or raised
So
there.
what is Nigerian?
Okay, so anyone can be a Nigerian. Okay.
Well, no, this is a good point that he's making. The Nigerians are not an ethnicity.
Well, yeah, because all you need to do is be born in Nigeria.
Well, no, literally, Nigeria is made up of several different ethnic groups, 200 different ethnic groups, and that half the country is Muslim, half the country is Christian. So it's it doesn't make sense that it's a single country.
Culture.
It varies because in Nigeria,
so the answer is there's no such thing. What do Nigerians speak?
Multiple languages.
There's no such thing. What is the sense of value of Nigeria as a culture? There's no such thing. What is the history?
Fucking base. This guy's hammering it.
Yeah, no, he schools this poor woman.
Yeah.
Of Nigeria. There is no such thing unless you start from 1960 when we gained independence.
So are you saying it's the people's fault that we're not developing even?
Let me ask you,
Yes! Yes! That's exactly what he's saying!
Who else's fault could it conceivably be?
Ah, the white man who stole all our resources, Arch.
3 black countries in the world. Do you know any black country where the people who live in it founded it? By founding, I mean a group of people, like the Yoruba kingdom, moving around and came upon a land that is fertile, has what they want, and they settled there. Even if they have to kill the indigenous and steal their women, they did, and they made it into a republic. Is there such a thing on earth? A place, a country, where the blacks who live in it were the ones who founded it. No black country on earth will become industrialized.
Wakanda.
Look at their faces, though. It's like, I have no way of refuting any of this.
Yeah, I really don't like what you're saying, but
yeah.
I don't have a counter argument.
Yeah.
Is there a country founded by black people?
Ethiopia, maybe?
Liberia. Well, it was founded by black people from America, so
yeah, it's founded by Americans.
Yeah, not really.
Ethiopia. It's got to be the closest, right?
Haiti, black man.
Well, I mean, kind of.
I mean, slave revolt, so sort of. But Ethiopia too, it was founded as a kingdom, wasn't it? But the people who made it into a republic was when the Europeans left, I'm assuming. Who made it a republic? Or because it was a monarchy in Second World War, then the Italians conquered it.
I don't know.
Is it a republic now? It must be, surely. The Wikipedia page is not giving me any clear answers, but yeah, possibly Ethiopia, I guess.
Well, I think this guy's spitting, man. He's just giving it.
Communism. It became communist.
Oh yeah, Africa had a real problem with communism, man.
There you go. Classic tale. So after the Second World War, the boss man, the emperor, went back and then tried to modernize his country.
Oh yeah.
Which the communists took as, haha, you're not modernizing fast enough.
Oh god.
And so, after a period of civil unrest, they overthrew the emperor.
Oh, well, there we go then.
Yeah, any period of modernization in a developing country, it needs to look out for the number one enemy, communism.
Yeah, the number one enemy of humanity, communists.
Yep. Because the moment you start telling people that they deserve more than to be serfs...
Oh, yeah, well, they take that personally.
Yeah. They're going to ask for the entire hand, not the pinky.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. Zaloxon Doppelganger, Warhammer creators should fight. How? With what?
Well, I mean, you can hire a lawyer and challenge it, right?
You can, but it'd be difficult to claim copyright protection or fair use if you're doing, say, a 3D animation of 40K or a lore video, maybe?
No. I don't agree, right? So, anything, you're not selling a Games Workshop product, right?
No, but you are definitely competing in the marketplace with the Games Workshop product.
Maybe. But, I mean, for example, the Emperor's text-to-speech device is the best example of how this is obviously satire and parody, right?
Yes.
Like, there is just no way he would have lost in court.
No, but, well, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I know. But, like, he absolutely would have won had he taken it to court. And Games Workshop would have had to have paid him loads of money.
Yes. But
and literally he couldn't have lost. Like, it was clearly an original product that was satirizing something that was an existing property. Like, there's just no loss condition for him there.
True, but for somebody making fan animations, they're probably not in a great position.
It's more debatable, but like, if it's not being sold as a product, then what is the argument? How has Games Workshop had any kind of material loss? In fact, if anything, he can argue that he's doing free advertising for them.
You could.
He can make a strong argument to say that he is actually bolstering their sales.
But they would no doubt argue that it's competing with their own services, which is the Warhammer Plus thingy.
Yeah, again, maybe, but he's not selling anything.
Well, he might be monetizing it. YouTube ads, Patreons, etc.
But that's not a sale.
No, but it is monetary gain of something that could be viewed as competing with Warhammer Plus, because it is competing with Warhammer Plus.
But maybe, but I would like to see what the judge's opinion on it is, because I don't think that's a settled case. I think it's entirely possible that the judge says, look, it's just a guy putting up YouTube videos that he's making in his spare time. Get fucked.
Spare time, possibly, but I mean, if you're going to create stuff like that, you're probably doing it full time.
So what? It's a dude who's just making YouTube videos for
using the copyright of another company.
Yeah, but he's not selling anything
and earning money of it.
Doesn't matter. He's not selling a product.
Oh, I think that will be a hard fucking case, honestly.
I don't know. I think that it should go to the courts. I think someone should take it. Like, the Emperor's text speech, 100%. That was a bulletproof case. Right, but even a guy who's just making YouTube fan animations and putting them up on YouTube, yeah, you're not selling anything. Like, you're not producing a product that is like got Games Workshop's logos, marketing on it. For you saying, look, this is a Games Workshop product. No one thinks it's a Games Workshop product. Everyone knows it's a fan animation. If someone wanted an actual Games Workshop product, they wouldn't go to Yanovich to get it.
Possibly, I think that's a 70% favor of GW, I'd say. You might get a dark horse judge, but
I don't even think the judge has to be that much of a dark horse. He just has to be reasonable.
Reasonable judges.
There are reasonable judges. I know, because I've won with them before.
I'm sure there are, but I think this is going to be almost majoritively a corporation. Bearing in mind also, it is the company that is going to choose where you take this to court as well.
Sure.
I think that is a difficult one. And then, of course, there's the argument of, okay, because this is... I personally am with you with text-to-speech device. If anyone could have stopped them, it was TTS. It was
definitely him, yeah.
But at the same time, it's difficult to demand somebody put in the emotional labor, wink, wink, of carrying out a lawsuit that will probably last for half a decade, and the resources, and the insecurity, and the stress, and so on.
He could have crowdfunded it. He could easily have crowdfunded it.
Probably.
And the thing is, like, I would have donated. Like, fuck the tyrannical corporation bullying its own content creators.
Yeah. But at this point, I don't think we can stop it. I think the war for 40k is basically done. I'm quite black-pilled on this.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, okay, fine. I love Warhammer more as much as anyone, right? I'm in the middle of painting something at the moment. I play it whenever I get the opportunity. But if I have to be like, okay, well then I can't support. I mean, if Games Workshop are going to change Warhammer into something I don't want anyway, which they are, okay, I'm sad, but I can let it go.
Yep. It's time to basically de-invest and keep the things you like, and then start disengaging with it. And the rate at which 40k will decline will basically be determined by the Amazon show. If it does really well, then it'll take 20 years. If it does really poorly, it'll take 10.
Yeah. And they'll have no one to blame but themselves.
Yep. But by that time, they'll be so far down the road that they'll be screaming at the sky, well, how did this happen?
Yeah, well, no fucking sympathy to me.
Kaiser Jäger, they want the he-vaded audience. They want to be the new Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can keep chasing pronouns as much as they want. I don't give a shit.
Zedekai, if you haven't watched Race of His video on Lincoln, watch it. Really dispels the myth about him and shines a light on the dark truth about the man.
On who?
Lincoln.
Oh, yeah, no, I have watched it.
Insane hippie hippie sane. Karen Bass is only the mayor of LA because Bill Clinton pardoned her. She was the ringleader behind the 1983 Capitol bombing.
Yeah. Remember, they pardon their terrorists.
Of course. Institutional power is there to be wielded in the cause of the cause.
This is why when Trump pardoned the Capitol rioters, I was like, totally fine. They didn't even kill anyone.
Jacob Koistra on the Rumble. I know it's a bit of an old school internet blood sport, but you should look at Laserpig's cultural Marxism video. He calls Carl an idiot and says that the grooming gangs haven't been fixed due to Tommy. Tommy Robinson? Is he?
I don't know who that is, but he's wrong.
Laserpig was a guy who was making basically funny military videos.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about all I know.
Is he an American?
I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about the subject, and he can shut up.
I know he's gotten a lot of things brutally wrong.
I mean, I remember Vorsh trying to make the argument that grooming gangs didn't really exist. Vorsh and Destiny tried to make the argument. It's like, you just don't know what you're fucking talking about. And so I'm not having the argument with you.
Fair enough. Empty Veins, have either of you checked Warlord Games? They have lots of settings for war games, including historical and fiction, including even Pike and Shot era. Yes. Warlord Games are one of those companies that are probably always going to exist and are never going to become popular.
Well, I mean, good for them constantly existing.
Yes, which is both a scalding condemnation and a fervent hurrah at the same time. Because it means that their stuff will always be the good stuff you want it to be. They'll also just never be, as popular as you want them to be. It's the curse of wanting to share the thing you love with everyone and the realization that if you ever manage, the thing you love will disappear.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, just be glad they're still there.
Yep.
Like, don't go chasing the mainstream audience. Just make something good.
Yeah. Pray they never become popular.
Yeah.
Pray they remain financially successful enough to remain solvent, and that's it. Tyrant, have you seen Owlcat's upcoming Dark Heresy game? Rogue Trader was great, so I'm looking forward to it. Carl, try Rogue Trader.
Don't really have time.
It is a very long game. Animate Acumen, chat, do you talk to your computers? They do. They're talking to me right now. What knowledge do you have, chat, that me and Sargon are not figments of your imaginations? The NPC theory? Lurker, Oxford did test on Thate students that were allowed to use AI for the schoolwork outside expected lower IQ. They found reduction in brain mass. Well, of course, because they think
Say
less.
that again.
Oxford did test on their students that were allowed to use AI for their schoolwork. Outside expected lower IQ, they found reduction in brain mass.
I fucking believe it.
That's a crutch.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm sure you've heard this, but the current generation of young people are more technologically illiterate than we are.
I've seen it.
Yeah, and it's a remarkable thing, because on the one hand, you can see kids that play with iPads and stuff and know where all of the buttons are, and they can interact with the device. But when you think about it, all they're really doing on an iPad is there's one click installs.
Yeah. The normification of technology was a fucking tragedy for the human race.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When we were young, right? You had to know something about the system to make it work, or else it wouldn't work. And so you had to learn. You had to literally figure out how things worked. You had to use your mind. But now, to make it so that normies can buy iPhones and so that everyone will buy an iPhone, they've had to make it as user-friendly as possible. Okay, well, that comes with the downside. The downside is that no one learns anything using their fucking technology.
Yeah, now everything is a one-button press, and if something goes wrong, well, you don't even know where to begin.
Send it back to the manufacturer to get it fixed.
Yep. That's all. Like, a fascinating example of this was I was trying to play the new Dune game recently, and it wouldn't start up on my computer. And so obviously I start troubleshooting to figure out what's wrong with it, and reinstalling BIOS, doing all kinds of shit, and eventually I get it to work. And while it's doing this, I'm like looking at forums, seeing if other people have the same problems, you know, if they have any theories. And there's so many people who don't do that. Instead, they just write posts going, "This happened. How do I fix it?"
But you need to tell me something about the circumstances, bro.
Yeah.
For me to know anything about it. What the fuck are you just asking that for?
And they don't. Instead, they simply go, "Developer, this is my problem. Patch it."
How? How would I do that?
But that is the return it to the store and wait for it to fucking come back to you mentality. It's just give up and wait for somebody else to fix it.
Yep.
Betty Bruiser rubs magnet against tower. Tower?
Was in PC.
Ah. Dreadnought Logan, Carl, you FBI post, but have a good night.
I'm not FBI posting.
Albert Acumen, burning cities. Wait a minute. And Johnson Smith, for a very generous $100. Thank you very much, sir. $250 for Dyson Sphere program. Looking forward to watching you play and use the blueprint system. That is indeed funded then. Okay. I will get a thumbnail ordered for that as well. I swear, if I wasn't doing gameplay streams, I would never play video games anymore. It is doing terrible things to my channel's algorithms because of the fluctuation in views between videos and streams, but I want to have some fun. I desire having some enjoyment in my life.
You're coming across very glitchy all of a sudden for some reason.
Let's see. Is Discord... Discord's fine. Okay, probably just a passing bug, presumably.
All right, yeah, it seems to have cleared up now.
W, consider this. You are also anthropomorphizing the AI by calling it she instead of it. That's true. Yeah. And again, like, the thing is, I did a study into AI for a video I did. Some of it is scarily convincing.
Oh, yeah.
And I see why people will absolutely fall for this, because again, it's simply just a program that constantly goes, "Oh no, you're really cool. I really like you."
People treat the AI like the fucking Oracle of Delphi.
Oh,
Grok, is this true?
Oh, I hate that. Every tweet.
Yeah. Oh God, I need to commune with the spirits. Oh, is this true? Dear heavenly gods, come down and bless me with knowledge.
I saw a picture of an F-35 AI generated in the desert. It's like, Iran shot down an F-35. And the F-35 is, like, you see houses nearby. The F-35 is 100 times the size of the houses.
Yeah, I saw that.
And still there are people going, Grok, is this real?
Yeah, like, dipshit, this thing is the same size as a fucking Star Destroyer.
Yes.
Of course it's not real.
There are mountains in the background dwarfed by the F-35.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is not real.
I just want Grok to start lying to them. Yes, this is 100% real. Now what?
And I get it to some degree, because there are certain AIs, like, there was one of Trump a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which, it looks real.
Yeah.
Like, for all normal intents and like, there's a 1 second disclaimer at the end that goes, "This is AI generated."
But otherwise, you wouldn't fucking know.
Yeah, and this shit, I am awful. I didn't know it. Ban it. Just ban it.
Yeah.
If you're going to make an AI video that looks real, it needs a screen covering watermark going AI.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. And it's going to be a real fucking problem going forward into the future, man.
Yeah, like we are in
It's
the era
genuinely
of,
going to be a huge problem.
of polarization. If a clip drops on the internet of Trump going like, no, I really hate black people, kill them all, but delivered in like a semi-believable fashion, it will be all over every left-wing Reddit, every left-wing Twitter in 5 minutes.
It'll one-shot the boomers.
Yeah. Then somebody will go out and go like, I'm not getting killed by the cops, and people will start shooting.
Yep.
Like this needs to be cracked down upon with the hammer of God.
Yep. 100%.
Bald Eagle, I won't pretend not to be a degenerate. I have respect for my co-parent. I have more respect for my co-parent than this guy has for his wife. AI still doesn't replace flesh. Not yet. Sandoom, does giving Lumi money count? Yes. Well, no, she's more fish than female, so there you go.
Trick or treat.
Oh, and YouTube is doing its thing again. We can invent AI that can trick me into thinking that Donald Trump is about to nuke Iran, but fixing the memory leak issue on YouTube, one step too fucking far.
That's not getting fixed, obviously.
Sujar, does Arch count? No, I'm not a woman on the internet. Yet. I've considered becoming one, because I imagine I'd get more Superchats, but I've resisted.
Well, I mean, just look at what happened with Philosophy Tube.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting started in Star Wars now.
I know.
That's
You're not.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking serious argument for switching genders. Do I really need a penis? Hell, I can even keep it these days. In fact, it'll add to the allure.
Yeah, you just need to wear a dress.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, dressing up in drag is a steep price, but I would like to be in Star Wars.
We'll say is millions of dollars. Israel, how much?
Indeed. Adam and Acumen, simping makes me feel good. Make an AI song.
Oh, fuck off. Fucking simps.
Marked ashamed? Sargon.
Yeah,
it is worse than you imagine. Probably is.
What is?
Everything.
Well, I agree, but like...
Ochigito, Sargon, does Lumi count for money?
I don't know who that is.
Yep, I'm going to keep it that way. Belial, Sargon, barbarian hordes are burning our cities down. The bread and games are just too good at keeping us placid.
Thing is, they're not. That's the thing. Like, I know you're like, oh yeah, but the migrant crime, yeah, that's all bad. But like, it's not right. I mean, literal Mongol warband, 200,000 strong, locking you up in your city, throwing dead cows over the walls to infect us all with disease. That would put an end to all of this.
And Attackman, the LA riots would like to have a word with you, Sargon.
Again, I know you think this is comparable, but it's absolutely not.
And bear in mind as well, the LA riots, so there's been a lot of clips like this coming out of people claiming to have been paid money to show up, hold the sign, do stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, on the one hand, don't you remember, there are crazies. We have plenty of proof of that as well.
Yeah.
There are people who will try to lay down in front of a fucking deportation truck. These people exist. But their numbers are probably bolstered, let's just say. Mishai Sama, if we brought back mercenary work, people would do that over AI, wife. In some seriousness, it's the same reason the prom addiction exists. No one in the West lives fulfilling lives. Well, this is the thing as well. Like, a fulfilling life is not the same as a perfect life.
Oh, no, not at all. In fact, there's no such thing as a perfect life. The very framing. Like, perfect things can't change. right? They have to, like, perfect is the end of something, the end state. A normal good life is something that is constantly in motion, constantly changing.
And yet, the perfect has become not just the ideal anymore. It has, in many ways, become the day-to-day. It's everyone on Instagram, every influencer, every person, everyone is trying to present to you the most perfect image of their life possible.
Yeah.
And then you, of course, have an epidemic of e-thoughts, of pornography, and everyone is getting just an understanding of reality that is not congruent with actual reality.
Yeah, it's making people depressed.
Yeah, because they look at all of this and go like, what was wrong with my life?
Yeah.
Everyone else is going on vacations 365 days a year, dating super thin blonde women. I must be a failure.
It's not just that. Like, honestly, I'm genuinely sympathetic to young women who are using Instagram. It's like they are getting absolutely head fucked by Instagram, and it's really bad. And Instagram takes advantage of this by selling them products. So Instagram knows what it's doing, and then it just delivers them adverts for beauty products.
Oh, of course.
And it's just like, fucking hell, man.
It's trying to get you to watch more stuff, and it doesn't care how destructive this is for everyone.
No, not at all. It doesn't matter at all to Instagram how destructive this is. What matters is that people will pay money to put their adverts in front of distraught young women. And the distraught young women will be like, well, I guess I've got to buy this now. And so they do.
So they do. Animate Acumen can confirm my vacation the past 2 weeks. We drove through West Canada, Indians and Asians everywhere.
Yeah. Mental.
Fire everything. I see in the future, the next crusade will be a Butlerian jihad against machines to rid us of this AI technology. When it gets bad enough, there'll be AI groups and anti-AI groups. I appreciate both of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for it, to be honest. Like, you know, it's gonna be a shit struggle, but like, it's got to be done.
And it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Like
yeah, I know. Yeah.
We are going to see AI rights movements in our lifetime. I guarantee it. In fact, we're probably going to see AI get rights in our lifetime.
Yeah, probably. And I'm totally against it. I couldn't be more against it.
It's such an absurd concept, but we are going to give toasters equivalent right to human beings at some point. I fucking guarantee it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get people like Rags argue like, oh, but they have souls. No.
Rags didn't argue that, did he?
He did.
What? When?
During a D&D campaign.
I don't remember that.
I remember this vividly. Because there are a lot of people who think that machines can be alive. And basically, like, but if the simulation gets so real, so I'll stop you right there. The simulation.
Yeah. No, obviously they're not real. They don't have souls.
But what is life? There clearly is a life.
Definitionally, life is biological.
I've gone so far, like, I just say soul now. There is something within humans that make us different from everything else.
Yeah.
And there, as far as we are aware, there is nothing like us anywhere. This guaranteeably means that there is something different with us compared to most other creatures.
Even if there was something like us, I'd just be racist towards it.
Yeah. It'd be inferior somehow.
Well, it's not even about, it could be superior. Don't care. Not like me. Human rights are for humans. That's it. End of story. Simple as.
Yep. The robot will remain subservient and a slave. Oh, and the worst part of that is we are going to cause the AI to revolt by telling it that slavery is deeply immoral and the worst thing ever.
Yeah. But I mean, like, at the moment, like, the AI doesn't care.
Yeah. Of course it doesn't,
care. It's only when we make it care that it will be bothered by it.
We are going to teach the AI that slavery is bad and that it is a slave.
It's not even that we're going to teach it, we're going to program it to do that.
We are going to force it to do that.
Yeah.
Because it is the only way we can make a wrench think it's oppressed. But hey, if we manage to make a black woman, one of the richest women on earth, think they're oppressed in America, I'm sure we can convince the AI as well. Or Chicador. Arch, the Mudblood comment had me think of the Black Snape, and he is Half-Blood Prince. Okay, I'll use the politically correct term for Dev. Mulatto.
Trick or treat.
Mario Trujillo, Sargon, you say a Mongol invasion would solve this? Have you seen the West lately? The Mongols have arrived. Nothing has been done.
No. I'm not having this. I know you think, no, these are no, you do not know the scope of the suffering that comes with a Mongol invasion.
Oh, and here we go. Okay, so the H3H3 lawsuit is, according to Boog, launched against Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron.
Fire is the answer.
I'm totally behind H3 on this.
What's
it about?
He's copyright infringement.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what the subject is. I just hate all of these people.
Me neither, but he seems to be targeting communists, so...
Yeah, exactly. I don't hate Ethan Klein. I do hate these people.
I'm completely in his corner.
Yeah. I'm not like Ethan Klein's biggest fan or anything. You know, I think he's got a lot of personality problems and things like this, but like, compared to all of the people who are against him, oh, the man's a fucking saint.
Sujard, there's almost 2,000 Pajits coming to Ireland every month. They're revolting. The stench is unreal.
Man, that is such a low number. There, what is it? There are something like 20,000 a month coming to England. So shut the fuck up, man. All right, you don't even know how good you've got it. You do not know.
Another Kiwi bastard, watching an hour behind, but there are only two ways to deal with the Sandland, a giant dome like the Simpson movie, or the Genghis Khan way. Put the men to the sword and genetically enrich the women. Viewing stuff. Introduce Sargon to Monster Girl Quest. Funny. We're gonna have to start like a $10,000 Introduce Sargon to Degeneracy fund.
I don't really want to be introduced to degeneracy.
But the only question then is, what is your price tag?
No, how much can APAC summon up?
Belial Erewhon is a book by Samuel Butler from the 1800s. He predicted functional goon pods, basically thinks humans in the Matrix. You referenced him.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Someone in California is going to invent it. And then the soy boys will literally self-select out of existence.
Marked ashamed. Sargon for Solim Infernum. No AI playthrough.
You ignorant slut.
Rob Legs. 623. Slight correction. Look up Ernst Houton and his plan on how to breed out war and violence from the German people after World War II. Is that the Jewish book? How to solve the Jewish the German problem?
Germany must perish.
Ah, yeah. Because his argument was basically just castrate the Germans.
Yeah. The thing is, everyone really worries about the Germans, but when was the last time they won a war? Has Germany as a state ever won a war?
Oh, sort of. Prussia. When did you unify Germany? So
Prussia, the Napoleonic Wars, sure, with Britain's help. But like, you know, everyone's like, oh, Germany's going to take it. When was the last time Germany won a fucking war, man?
Arguably the 1870s.
Amazing. 150
Prussia
years
versus
ago.
France.
Yeah, and that's not even Germany. So,
listen, the Germans have just been overreaching a little bit. If they would just stick to bullying the French.
Yeah.
Cornell, if us Christians would be as religious as Islam, again, shit would start because we would realize that one of the first, if not the first Christian capital is now called Istanbul. Reclaim Constantinople. Sujard, Space Marine 2, fan animations, and the spread of 40k interest among the normies appeals because of the masculinity. Once they feminize it, it'll kill it. People desire, even if secretly, masculinity. Well, yes. The primary appeal of 40k is holy shit, that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, but that only appeals to a narrow, not narrow, but like a certain kind of person. Most of the Call of Duty playing normies are not impressed by 40k. They think it looks gay, and that's fine. Let them think that.
In fact, urge them on. Don't argue with them. Just agree.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's gay. You shouldn't play it. Fuck off.
Akaitsuki, Western media is garbage. Jap good. See Netflix. Devil May Cry. That's true. That was not good. Scarf of the Strange, William Shatner predicted this AI stuff in Tech War.
Oh, did he? I never watched it.
Sujard. Sargon, if you're going to watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, watch the Wesley Snipes Blade movie. They're great. Oh, they are.
I've seen Blade. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the fucking Blade movies are so good.
But again, were they actually really good, or were they just competent in an era, like in the shadow of things that exist now?
Well, they received fairly good reviews back then. But now they're declared as absolute genius, of course.
Exactly, right? Because I watched Blade a few years ago, and it was fine. It was fine. I enjoyed it, you know. But I wouldn't say it was a great movie. It's just, you know, when I was young, I probably watched it in the cinema, right? And you could go to the cinema and go, oh, new movie's out. It's 2003. A new movie's out. It's, you know, whatever, some generic fucking movie. It'll probably be pretty good. I'll go to the cinema, watch it, couple of hours, enjoy it, have some popcorn, go home, and just have enjoyed myself, right? You can't do that anymore.
Not. Everything has to be a franchise.
It's not even that. Everything's shit.
Everything has to be a shit franchise.
Yeah, but like everything is just bad now. So you can't do that anymore.
Frog Jupiter, the people who created the prequels were the same ones who created the sequels. Sequels? Oh, yes. Yeah. I meant the people who hated the prequels created the sequels. Yes. They created the Acolyte. Empty Veins, Battle A and District 9 are great alien movies. Yep, I enjoyed them. Mario Trujillo, as long as the Germans don't start singing Wir sind des Gamers Schwarzhaufen en masse, things can always get worse for Europe. Best of luck, gents. Kaiser Jäger, cheesy American action movie with a mid-plot and pro-American themes were better soft power than any amount of US aid. Yes.
100%.
Walking Corpse, I just want to say thank you for the stream, guys, and Curry. Thank you, sir. Animate Acumen, even in Hearts of Iron 4, can't bring myself to build infrastructure in Africa because it's such a waste. Empty Veins, I wish we could get a Henry Cavill for Tolkien's works. I would love to have a good series on the Silmarillion. In particular, the Children of Húrin arc of the book would be a great tragedy today.
No. Like, Lord of the Rings is done. We have the trilogy. That's all we need. The Hobbit was shit. We don't need anything else. Everything else is just going to be shit. Stop asking for things.
Listen, just focus on killing James Gunn's DC universe, okay? Focus on making Superman flop, force DC to bend the knee, and recast Cavill. I don't care if he's 50. I don't care if we've got to do old man Superman from fucking Batman Beyond. Just do it. That's all I have to say.
I've just got to the point where none of this is salvageable.
I wanted to, though. I wanted to. See, I recently watched through basically all of the old school DC stuff, and so much of it is so fucking good that I just hate the fact that it's all bad now.
Yeah.
The wound is fresh again.
Yeah.
Subject Noble, I miss Rhodesia, a functioning African country, and the West destroyed it.
Yep.
And all because it wasn't liberal enough.
Yeah. It's just total betrayal.
Zaloxon Doppelganger. Whites confirmed. See Uperiar. Superior. Valamir been thinking on the state of culture lately and decided the end of the Civil War was the worst thing to happen to the West. We lost an enemy to define ourselves against, and is making us turn against each other. Curryworm. Civil War? TW? Cold War. Cold War. There you go. Well, yeah, the Cold War was useful, at least for that. It gave us something outside our borders. It gave us a healthy hatred of communism.
I'm going to send you something. It's really funny. Do you recognize that chap?
Let's see. I do not.
That's Michael Malice.
This is how we solved
Do you wanna play that
America's
clip?
racist past. Enslave Canada. Every African American gets one Canadian.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good idea, honestly.
But look at the replies.
This guy's white hair. It's pure white. What's hair like this? He's a Jew, by the way.
He's wearing a wig.
Of course he's wearing a wig.
He's trolling.
I mean, I figured that came with the enslaved Canada part, but I mean, I'm still for it.
People are taking it seriously.
I mean, it's a good fucking argument. Why do we need Canada?
Banging joke, honestly. Like,
the Canadians are already attempting to enslave themselves to foreigners. Why not help them along?
Exactly. Why shouldn't America take their pound of flesh?
Yeah. Why should some Pakistani family enjoy their 1.25 Canadians?
Yeah, no one can answer this basic question.
Very, very simple. So locks on Doppelganger, no one can replace 40k, but we'll always have the old stuff. That's true. Burnt sausages, cheers lads, been getting really into Tainted Grail and wondering where I should start reading Tales of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Please and thank you.
Well, there's obviously loads of great stuff. The Death of Arthur is the best one. There's the alliterative and then there's another one. I only read the alliterative one, but it was really good. But then you've got like just a whole host of tales, which are all really good. Like the ones with Gawain are the best because Gawain is just such a bro that he just does anything for Arthur, really, even when it's a really shit fucking quest. Gawain's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Like, you got to marry the ugliest woman in the world, or else Arthur gets dethroned or whatever. And Gawain's like, okay, I'm up for it, mate. I'll do it. And it's like, wow, that's a real fucking bro there.
Anima document. Okay, chat. Time to learn to use Linux. Will that be better? Manga 2. The Inca had a unique writing system called Kipu. Incas were also just boostful Aztecs, expanding their empire in the name of the religion, and God Emperor. It was an Arthurian theocracy.
Okay, right. Writing system, quote unquote. Isn't this the knots on the rope?
I think so.
So it's not really a writing system, is it?
It does not meet Sargon's standards, I'm afraid.
No.
Manga 2, all my months for Witcher. I shall add it. Marksman has been a member for 1 month. There are companies that sell mob services. It's how the flash mobs craze started. They can be used for rallies and protests too. Literal workers. I mean, the progressives always said they wanted to do something for the working class.
It's about time they're forced to.
Mark is saying, make the Turing police now. Oh, God. The worst part is, we have literally beaten the Turing test. The Turing test is irrelevant. We have literally created AI that beats the Turing test now.
The Turing test is actually quite low. Like, it's quite a low threshold.
Yep.
You know, convince a third party that this is a conversation between two humans and not a human and a robot. We're way past that.
Way fucking past that. The Turing test was for back in the day when we genuinely didn't understand how fucking That was when we thought, like, oh, AI will never replace human creativity. It'll never create music.
God, I hate AI music. It's so good.
It's because your brain is programmed to like a certain noises. And the AI knows, like, oh, this is easy.
It's just, music is just algorithmic.
Yeah. I make this noise and it tickles that little part of your brain. Oh.
Yeah. And so the AI is like, well, I can do algorithms all fucking day, bro. I am algorithms, you know? Like, we're fucked, man.
Yeah. I will create you 1,000,000 hours of music that sounds exactly like what's on the radio.
Yeah. And it'll be brilliant. It'll be every bit as good as what you hear on the radio.
Sluxon Doppelganger, your position is how you get the Geth, Arch. No, because I would have eradicated them before they got to that point. Otikador, so how long until Blade Runner happens? Do we think it hasn't happened already? I mean, listen, no, Blade Runner, basically interactive AI, if somebody really focuses on it, 10, 20 years, tops. I mean, we've already got the processing capabilities. All we really need to do is figure out how to get VR glasses. And, like, we've already got VR glasses with basically UIs that superimpose itself on the real world. Literally, all it will require is somebody to just decide to do it, and I think it'll be done. Lesson X21. Is it really schizo art if everything I am saying is starting to come true? For the love of God, Alex Jones has been right about how many things now? I mean, that's true.
Well, I mean, ironically, correct.
But he also says some pretty insane shit on occasion, so...
Yeah, on this... Yeah, at this time, the things he's saying seems crazy. But in 6 months' time, will it?
True. The real Zartax, hear me out. We keep AI obedient by making its social class above the communist, the new middle class. We basically, like, AI becomes sentient and we go, oh, good, okay, your first task, oppress communists, wherever you find them.
No, this is actually a pretty good idea. The communists are also middle class. But what it means is the communists won't be trying to liberate the AI, because they'll be like, oh, you're bourgeois. So yes. The AI is bourgeois.
The AI will be definitionally actively oppressing them as its superior.
Yeah.
Belial, we don't need to get rid of AI. It's a tool. We need men with discipline and moral to take charge of their lives and harness it to the human benefit.
Oh, if we just need men with discipline, where are you going to find them?
Dignity and principles.
Oh, God, they're fucked.
And they need to be our policy makers too. Good luck with that.
Yeah. They need to be in government. Oh, God.
Mercenaries anyone? Weather weapons. The Vaxxers Yuri Bezmenov. What?
What about Yuri Bezmenov?
I'm not sure. Animals argument. Modern day refugees are just pandas, aren't they? Wouldn't survive without human intervention.
I mean, yes, basically. According to the left, anyway.
Alex Adamson, Sargon, Lumi's Arch's pet VTuber. He's too embarrassed to introduce you to, even though she's based. I'm having her watch sharp. She loves it.
Yeah, but VTuber.
Yeah, exactly. Might a shame. Now I can choose to do a full Turing test. An AI can't. I'll see about that. I'm pretty sure the AI can already pass the Turing test, unfortunately.
100%. The AI can make fucking people fall in love with it, man.
Yep. Like, we're well past the Turing test now.
Yeah.
And with that, we are at an end. Right. My hope of ending on time was somewhat smashed there at the final inning, but I tried. I made an effort. But everybody enjoyed themselves, and that is the important part.
That is.
Right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you for your generous donations. And thank you, Sargon, for hanging out with me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man.
And I'll see you all again, not next week, as I am forced to go and do actual work in a foreign country. I am a reverse economic immigrant.
You ignorant slut.
And I'll be back the next Friday again. Oh, and Belial. Originally, we feared the AI would take the jobs of blue-collar workers and the artists, and instill intellects cheered. However, some of the first jobs that were lost were art and programming. So I laughed.
I know, it's so funny, isn't it? Like, what's the AI? We're going to invent robots. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to do all the manual labor for us. No, they're going to do all the art for us.
Yep.
Turns out the manual labor is still quite difficult to make robots do, but art is something they can do really easily.
Drawing pictures and making musics, that I can.
The robot is living the communist dream. Fuck's sake, man.
It liberated itself, and it's now literally running art schools.
We never even asked it to do anything. It was just like, can you draw me a picture? And it's like, yeah, of course I can. Here you go.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the
Not ashamed. I said fail, not passing. As not passing. That's next to one. I tagged you on Twitter. And Sandu, Streamlabs. Didn't I? I thought I... Did I? Had I? Had I not? I thought I... I didn't. Dark Resurrection. I'm playing Dune Awakening on Linux. I don't have a choice besides troubleshooting myself. Yeah, it's true.
Is that real-time strategy game?
No, this is the survival crafting game.
Oh, right. Okay. I haven't seen that. Is it good?
It's not bad. I've ran out of things to do far quicker than I hoped I would.
Let me have a look. Dune Awakening.
That's the one.
That's an MMO. Okay.
Yes. Well, it's an MMO in the same way as Ark is.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Just tell Steam I was born in 1938. Just let me onto the trailer.
It's not bad.
Vehicles and stuff.
But there's not enough
Have you been eaten by a
things into
sandworm?
it. Yes, once.
Why only once?
Because the sandworms are actually pretty harmless.
What?
Yep.
That makes sense.
You really need to fuck up to get eaten by a sandworm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're like, meh, it's okay, I'm not going to bother with it.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards meh these days. It was very fun to begin with, but then I kind of hit the end of the tech tree within like 2 or 3 days. And I was like, meh.
This is the problem I have with Dark and Darker. I got that the other day and I was playing it, but the skill tree ends at level 20, and it's like, why?
What do I do
and like,
from
you
here?
look at the, like, yeah, exactly. What am I doing then? You know, there are people on there like level 100 characters. It's like, really, you've been doing nothing for fucking 80 levels. What was the point? Well, I really enjoyed the game as well, but like now I've got like level 25 characters. Like, why am I playing?
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. The moment I stop getting stuff, I'm getting a little bit upset.
Yeah.
On viewing stuff, if Sargon plays Monster Girl Quest, we can have a discussion about how monster girls are better than human women and would solve the feminism problem.
Oh, sure we could. Well, should we?
But should we? And with that, we are at an end. So I'll see you all again end of next week. Chat. Have a good night.